go. We're alive. We're alive. Most of us are alive.
We have Mother Darling over there, and so, her furs.
Yeah.
Grey Gardens.
Nice and cozy. Oh my gosh.
Same way I look.
Yeah, it's the way they look all the time. That's fine. All right. Happy end of February. As it turns out, today is also our Lady Iskra's birthday, so happy birthday, Iskra!
Oh, wrong way. Damn it, I'm backwards.
We end. Yeah, there you go. We end the month with the best day ever. So there you go. Here we are. With what's funny? I just realized both our birthdays fall on Tuesday. Wow.
Ooh.
Oh no.
What, you think you're better than me?
Oh. You think you're better than me? No. So there's this conspiracy that was posted to me from our friends over at Top Down Tabletop that me and Iskra are like two sides of the same coin. We're like cat dog, like we don't exist without the other kind of thing.
Which one is which?
We're
That
Demogorgon.
tracks.
Yeah,
dog.
we are Demogorgon. Oh my god, that's actually really cool. Anyway, that's a whole other topic that is going to be interesting. Interesting. Okay, so yeah, so recently one of theirs, Petulant Cobra, got stuck in Dallas here in Texas with some flight delays, and they were like, "Oh, you should see if one of the Knights of Silver Moon can like come hang out with you." They're like, "Yeah, we know that most of them live in Texas. Like, doesn't one live in Dallas?" Like, I think it's Aaron or Iskra. I get them confused, and they're like, "Wait, how do you get them confused?" They're like, because it was just a typo of like get confused which one lives where. But so then they just went on a rant about it being like we were the same person. So. Yeah, now our birthdays are on Tuesdays. I guess that's just what we do now. All right, cool. Well,
next year it'll be on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
Ruined it.
You
Damn.
ruined it. The surprise is over. Damn it.
That's what I do.
We'll have to wait 7 more years before this happens again.
No, we'll have to wait more than that because then it like skips ahead of one because leap year.
Oh.
Ruined it again.
Dang it. All right, well, whatever. Well, anyway, thank you to everybody who's coming in to hang out with us tonight. We are down a Galil. He is not feeling feeling the weather. He is feeling under the weather.
He's feeling the weather.
He's under
There's
feeling the
a
weather.
30% chance it's already raining.
In his mouth.
As well. So we should be halfway through campaign 2 by then. Join us for our new show, Kindred Ruins Everything. Oh no, you could probably find a way to do that. All right. Without further ado, we'll go ahead and jump into tonight's episode. And see what trouble everybody else gets into. Yeah, here we go.
More drugs.
Okay, here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go. Yes. All right. Let's get this party started.
Party started like a week ago.
All right. Yet another dinner with the enemy. Knowing full well that any wrong step could send the brigade tumbling into the oblivion that the Empire gives to those that wrong them. The brigade have broken bread. This is what I get for writing things out, because then my brain just goes boop. Or in this case, nachos with the Red Wizards and the King and Queen of Pirados, as well as a High Lich apprentice, Ulder of the Hissing Wastes. He offers a personalized congratulations to the mercenary heroes that had saved the city from this wave of undead, as well as aid in the reconstruction of the bridge that leads to the sacrificial altar, their final destination. The appearance Ulder chose was one similar to that the Red Wizards had used before when attending the races in Outrular. Tall, imposing. He is a creature of apparent nightmares and an unknowing depth of knowledge. During that garden retreat, much is learned. King Barnaby apparently knows more than he lets on, and is later confirmed to be a, puppet or vassal king to the Empire, though his exact alliances and intentions are still unclear. Ulder, though, he does present himself as a god, but then reveals himself to be the High Lich's apprentice to Kindred. His apprentice, he is the apprentice to the High Lich of Abjuration, no less. Aranis, Kindred's father. And it was to Kindred that one of the ultimate tests was presented. That Kindred stayed back at the castle while the delivery of the goods was made, and he would be given the chance few could ever hope to achieve in multiple lifetimes. Infinite knowledge. Or go and never know what might come of that offer. Once it was made adamantly clear that the party needed to leave, and time was of the essence, they left, back for the brigade, back to the caravan. Oh my gosh, I can do this. And that's when the last minute decision was made. And Kindred stayed with the party.
So I don't hear any shit from any of y'all.
At least for now.
So, as we get started tonight, the brigade has begun walking through the ruined sections of the city of Pirados. Now, having feasted and had this quick meal, you have a little less of an entourage as you head back towards the caravan. You can see the members of the head leaders of the caravan are walking just in front of you guys as you guys kind of trail around behind them. You, Kindred, you had noticed that Gabriel, had left from the crowd a little bit and was following behind, and then looked back at the castle. Barnaby, are you traveling with the party now, or are you gonna go with them a little later?
Well, I mean, they just kind of fucked off, and there's really not a whole lot else going on over here. So, if I'm still too inebriated to fly, I'd probably just kind of hop quietly behind them. But otherwise,
I mean, I gave you a good parting gift.
Climbs back on Soul's shoulders and just rides for the rest of the day like nobody questions it.
I mean, in all consideration, like what you're doing is in my city, so I mean, it's not that odd, right? I'm just this is kind of boring. I don't usually come check it out, but literally there's nothing going on back at the party. You took all the leftover nachos too, and I'm hungry, so
That makes sense. All right.
Just
So-
hanging out, not giving a hoot.
Then in that case,
mild hoot.
a mile. Well, in that case, we'll say that as you guys are traveling, then and Barnaby flutters onto someone's shoulders. I don't know. You pick a shoulder to flutter to.
Who can hold a 2 foot tall, 7-pound bird? Soul. Yeah. Oh, yes, you're taller. That keeps me away from the cat. That sounds wonderful. I'll go hang out with my furball friend.
All right.
Are you feeling a little better now that the terrifying man with the scary voice is gone?
I'm not really convinced that he is gone.
Fair point. Fair point. You want to party? You got some drugs from a friend. I don't take them alone.
Just got a little something. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Oh, yeah, that's right. Kindred did present Barnaby with a special gift as he departed.
Have a good time.
Hang on to that for a minute, though. You know, we don't want to peak too early.
Right.
Until the fireworks start.
Got it. Okay. So, and then Galil says Kindred and Galil are together, by the way, with Oreo. And I was like, all right, cool. That's right, because you got there trailing behind everybody else. And then Renan and Iskra, you guys are more, I'll say you guys are probably following closer to the caravan leaders, per se. As you guys are...
Experiences.
As you guys are headed back, anything that you guys are wanting to try and do or say before you arrive back at the caravan?
What is it's like midnight?
It's probably late night. I wouldn't say it's
Approaching.
quite midnight, but it's like
Getting ready.
yeah, probably about 11 or so.
Okay. Like, what is the attitude or like the general vibe of the townsfolk? Are they still out and about, or is it like lock your doors?
There's a few people who are still out and about, like putting their lives back in order, as this is the first afternoon that they've been able to get out back to what had remained or what remains of their homes. So there's still a few people that are kind of setting up things. Most of the people, I'll say, are probably headed back into the city, as that's where their current like shack homes have been set up still. So those who haven't been able to set something up on the outside are now going back in the city. So it's kind of empty-ish.
Okay.
What are our ostensible employers doing?
They do seem to be kind of having a conversation among themselves.
I, as the trusted confidant of Liao, I'm gonna kind of insert myself into that conversation. Walk over.
Okay.
First insertion of the night. Awesome.
So, all right. So as you do so, you come up to them. You see that. Let me bring up my people over here. Okay. You see that Cadassia is in the middle of telling Liao, the whole situation's very strange. I don't know quite what I was expecting, but it was definitely not that. And then
I'm going to broadcast this conversation to the other Spizmer holder also.
Okay. Alrighty. So then, as you approach, Liao's like about to answer, and he sees you come up to his side. Oh, well done tonight. It seems like you and Iloin performed well.
It was an unexpected request, but we think that the people liked it, and so did our hosts.
Are there a lot of water-deep aristocrat pachangas that you know? Is there more than one, or is it just that one?
That's the most popular one.
I see. Well, it was something I will never forget.
When I walked up, you seemed a little put off.
Oh, he looks over at Spurious and Cadassia. On the far is like, so right now it's like Liao, Cadassia, Spurious, and then on the far side is Vadu, right? And Vadu's kind of very just intent on their surroundings, kind of watching everything. And Cadassia and him are the ones that are paying you the most attention. Spurious is kind of just keeping his mind forward, but seems lost in thought. Only in the matter of it being that we have never met a kind of does the god like very low, like not be apparent. We have never met one of the gods before, so it was a little unnerving. They don't usually get involved, so seeing one here was strange.
That was a new experience for me as well. I'm gonna kind of look at Cadassia to get her insight on this and think, what do you think it says about their interest in this shipment?
You're asking her, or you're asking Liao?
Yeah, I'm gonna ask Cadassia.
Cadassia particularly?
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to say. We normally don't get that sort of attention when it comes to these sort of things. We just get our orders and we do what we are told. There's generally not necessarily a direct contact with someone from the higher up the food chain, if you will. So him being here is timing, to say the least. But I suppose it could just mean that this is a very important. We've always known that this was a very important deal. Maybe this is just underlining that fact.
If you have uneasiness about the ritual itself, I'm sure we could come up with an easy excuse for you to remain with the caravan and just send some representatives to the ritual instead.
Cadassia and Liao look at each other. And actually, this would have gotten the attention of Spurious and Vadu as well. When you say it, they kind of all look at you and then look at each other. Well, look towards Liao, actually. So it's kind of like, you can't tell if they're looking at you or at Liao, because you guys are kind of walking in line, but they definitely are like looking that direction. Liao is the one who answers you, though. Well, I suppose that's a good point, but honestly, we never really go and see for ourselves. Or at least none of us have. We usually, they will have some of the workers or someone from the city usually takes the carts in for us. We'll send someone about halfway, but there's this whole odd ritual thing that they go off of, I suppose. About halfway through, we are replaced with an escort.
Surely, considering the circumstances, you're not a little curious.
I'm curious for sure, but I don't know if there are also limits to my curiosity. That is one thing that I have learned from years of this sort of this nature of business. You can have curiosity for up to a point, and then after that, you might as well put your head on a chopping block. I feel like this is possibly one of those situations, but I am curious. It comes with the territory.
When she talks about head on the chopping block, I kind of nod. I'm like, I thought maybe that was the impression you were getting. I have to say, I feel a little bit of this myself.
Liao kind of raises an eyebrow, tilts his head at you. What do you mean? Do you think that we're in any sort of danger?
This circumstance was so unique that if no one has ever seen what we've seen before, maybe the powers that be would like to keep it that way. I guess if it were to come down to it, would we defend ourselves? Here we go, making the play. Let's see if I can get the caravan on the side of not Faye.
He looks over at over his shoulder a little bit, and it's almost like you get the feeling that he's considering the mercenaries that are behind him. I can't say that we are necessarily in any position to have a hope to defend ourselves if the full might of this city, much less the Empire, turns on us. We can try and defend ourselves, but I don't think it would go as well as you might think.
I'll just nod for now.
It's something to consider, though, I suppose.
I think we need to be prepared for every possibility.
Just kind of nods slowly. It looks over at Cadacia, then back to you. For whatever it's worth, as strange of a circumstances as this whole trip has been, I'm glad that you were here for it.
Likewise, Lee. And I'm gonna be able to say that earnestly. Like, they haven't been bad hosts, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So.
All right. At this point, we'll say that you guys are just leaving the outskirts of the city, and you're now out in this open, dark field. Lanterns were provided to you guys, so there's a couple of them that hold lanterns, but then also Spurious says a couple of words under his breath, gestures outward, and you see these glowing orbs as he casts dancing lights that kind of spread out amongst the party and kind of light your way, giving you the area a nice little yellow orange glow as you go along. With Barnaby on your shoulder, Soul, there are two of the King's Guard that are trailing behind the party as well, because obviously they're not going to just let him go by himself.
He just went off somewhere.
He got, he just goes out and does something.
I completely didn't realize we were being I wondered who was holding my train this whole time.
Yeah, Soul keeps like awkwardly looking back, and it's just like not sure what to do, and he's like starting to overthink everything. It's like, do I do something with my hands? Like, do I just walk forward? Or...
Just keep walking.
Are you doing the walk thing where you hold your hands like firm to the side so they're not moving? Oh no, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, he's trying to keep it casual, but because he's thinking about it, it definitely does not look casual.
Yeah, I'm gonna notice that eventually. I did have a brief question of the conversation that just happened. With a passive perception of 20, how much did I actually hear of that?
You are drunk. Remember.
You are drunk. And they are literally at the opposite ends of they're like walking in the front, and you guys are like walking towards the back. So. Close enough to maybe capture a couple of words, but whether it's coherent or not, they're talking in I'm assuming hushed tones, at least as far as
especially towards the end.
Yeah.
I'll leave that be. My perception is kind of more so on this poor rigid fellow's shoulders. Also, passive insight of 20 is also telling me that you are really, really unhappy about this right now. I'm gonna drop this train and go fly off for a second. I'm gonna tell these boys to fuck off and see if I can come back and hang out with you guys.
He's not unhappy. He's just really awkward. He's just a really awkward guy. To let you know, just for context, my Soul's charisma is an 8.
Wonderful. That's good. We're gonna get along so well. It's gonna be like swing and a miss every time. I'm going to try to win this person over and get no response. It's going to be neurodivergent cycle all over again. Well, I'm going to drop my train and tell Eustace and Reginald to go fuck off, and then I fly away.
So you tell the guards to go back to the city?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Well, you are the king. There's a little bit of a hesitancy, but eventually they do leave.
As you're coming back, I want to take my staff out and kind of like have it at a horizontal and urge Barnaby to use that as a perch.
It's like a moving perch. Yes, I'm okay with this. All right, fine. At first, I thought it was like one of those like hawk like gloves things. I'm like, I'm not gonna scratch you, man.
Succeeds.
I get pedicures daily. All right, these claws are not on point, but on point. Yeah, no, I'll go perch where my perch is welcome.
As you guys are walking out of the city, Max, the small 8-year-old boy that has been with you for a while, goes up to Ardrin and tugs on your sleeve real quick. There's somebody following us, but he like turns over his shoulder, and you look, and probably about 30 to 40 paces behind you guys, you see Gabriel. Not necessarily like all cloaked up and looking like mysterious, but he's not like being, he's not being super overt either. He's just walking in the darkness outside of the range of the light, but you can see easily enough that it is him.
So just for my enlightenment here, it's basically just the caravan people, the mercs, and the king, and then somehow in this little train, Gabriel has sort of tried to slink up to it, behind it. It's like he's
kind of, yeah, he's just kind of, no, I mean, because this is an open plain, like this is an open field between the city, and you can see the mill that you are headed to on the far side of this open area, right? So there's like a little bit, but there's also other people that are walking to and from the mill, right? There are still like citizens that were out there helping set stuff up. You can see the dinosaurs are all now relaxing for the evening, and the lights are all around the mill. So there's it's not like super sketchy, but it's like, I don't know, it's a very niche thing of you are walking from the barn to the house and you just get to cross this open field, and it's not super scary, but it's still kind of just like
It follows.
yeah.
Someone
I
behind
think I
you
know
as
how
you're
it
driving
plays.
home, like, keeps making the same turns as you, and you're like, this can't be happening.
Then you start
Wait,
taking like
maybe it's
every
happening?
second left to see if they go with you, kind of thing. Taking
Yeah.
that like weird circular path, running the Nautilus. I'm gonna pat Max on the shoulder and say, "Good job." I'm going to spies him over to Iskra. It has been referred to the rest of us that that is a Gabriel of some sort, or is that also
Yes.
something like-
Yeah,
You
I think
responded
one
to
of the-
Gabriel. That's all
Yeah.
y'all know.
Just wanted to double check. Gabriel number, whatever the latest one is, I think is trailing us. I'm gonna try and see what's up with that.
All right, good luck.
And I'm gonna lean back down to Max. I don't want you to get too close, but stay near Liao and the others, because I'm gonna put you in charge of that. All right?
Okay.
I'm gonna kind of just like hold a hand, like trying to like urge him to give him a high five and just see how long the kid leaves him hanging. And I'm gonna slow down to let the group pass him by a little bit until Arjun's near Kindred is gonna lean in. The friend you made along our travels is nearby. Is the trailing us.
Yeah, about that. It's not just Gabriel.
Like Gabriel's plural, or
And I lean in real close. Try a strawberry.
okay? And how do those two overlap?
No fucking clue, but here it is.
All right. The fact that you know about that, should we be concerned about this?
At this point, I don't even fucking know. I was propositioned by my dad's apprentice just now before we left.
In which manner do you mean?
I was gifted an invitation to join Godhood.
So on top of everything else, we got to deal with apotheosis. All right. Well,
Yeah. That's why I didn't want to say anything and just add on to the stack. We've already got a fucking enough problems.
yeah, file that away
or-
or something later.
Oreo just kind of snorts and then shakes her head.
So,
I mean, I'm gonna want to talk about it at some point, but
oh yeah, of course.
why
But
didn't
like,
you slink on with that one?
why didn't I go with him?
Yeah.
Because it would have meant abandoning y'all. Did you see that when the god came and talked to me?
You know, I think it was fairly apparent whenever everybody was in the
The big
garden.
shadowy figure is like, oh no.
Yeah, it's basically kind of the local big bat sort of wafts in anyone's direction you're gonna notice.
Is that Vin Diesel? No.
He was talking to
I
family.
am Groot.
God damn it. I'll give you inspiration for that.
That's good.
Because I'm a god.
No, you gave that up.
Give it to him.
I guess I wasn't really sure what that was about.
Yeah, I didn't know what that was either, but that was him giving me an ultimatum of either choose to go with y'all or go with him and become god. Or something. Just don't tell the others tonight. It's gonna be a thing and we already have enough problems. This is a thing we need to unpack, but not tonight.
I get that. I'm gonna touch a shoulder and I'm gonna lean in close. But you are gonna have to tell them.
Oh yes.
I understand
Abs-
compartmentalizing just for a moment because
Yes.
we're prioritizing,
Yeah.
but it's got limits, right?
Oh yeah.
Galil, it's like not to add to more, but this god also knows the king to a certain familiar way. I don't think
Yeah,
king-
that kind of tracks.
the king knows more than he thinks, or
I
than he
was-
lets on.
Wondering how the only owl person in Thay is the king. There's got to be more of that story there.
And I just kind of like hook arms around both Galil and Ardra. I'm like, well, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Well,
Before
I
you can actually
hang
go
out with
into
Santos.
that, I was actually not that Galil is here, but since he's being Jaggered, I think you can put one of your marks on the Gabriel back there, just so we always know where they are.
I wouldn't right now. He's
I guess so. Hunter's Mark second level, he says.
oh gosh, oh okay. He's a practitioner. He's gonna know. All right, I was gonna say that, but
In a very smooth,
I didn't know
in a very Adam slash Galil sort of way, he'll just casually like raise his arms like he's stretching, yawning, and as he does like a quick turnaround, zaps off the spell and turns back around again. Does it well? I guess it's more of his little eye mark, right? If I recall correctly.
his like iris turns into Barnaby.
It's what? Aaron knows me so well. And goes right back to walking and then like casually pretends like nothing's going on. But Galil, you do have that spell going, so I'll try to remember that you are concentrating on that. But
And does Kindred give us the cliff notes on like that you were intending to do a second ago? Or?
As long as we have the privacy to continue to walk and do so, yeah. I'm just like, well, he told me this, and then we got to talking, and then he's got, I don't know, pussy problems. He said, and the queen was just put there, like she's not really anybody. She was just stuck there because I don't know how she got the spot, but he's been here longer than she has, and blah 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 blah. And then I feel like I'll end.
question: do you tell them about the flower?
Who?
Galil, you were walking with Galil first. I don't remember if Galil saw.
Well, Galil was with
Galil
me
saw
when I gave him
when
the
you gave
flower.
him-
'Cause I was
okay.
like, Galil, just go with me on this.
Yes. But do you bring it up again with
Yeah,
Ardra?
if Galil brings it up, I'll be like, oh yeah, by the way,
Okay.
I'm looking
well-
at chat. Which is,
I know. Now I'm like waiting. Let's see what Galil says. But in any case, I just wanted to see how much
Yep, there it is.
you bring it up. Okay. So
Right,
then,
let's just
Ardra,
so
you know also.
Yeah. And as an added bonus, I passed off the flower to Barnaby as drugs.
All right, and what's the goal with that?
No goal.
Just chaos. Okay.
I
Yeah,
was
that's-
drunk off my ass. Okay, the stuff he's got, it hits you. But it was
Unless you
good.
cast Lesser Restoration, you're still drunk off your ass.
Yeah.
It's gonna be some true resurrection. All right. Well, I'm gonna go and resume my place in this formation over here, and I guess we'll talk more when we get to camp.
Now
You probably
we're
got,
getting air
like-
formation.
You probably got like another 5-10 minutes before you get back to camp. So you're getting close, but it's still not 5 or 10 minutes off.
So then after you like kind of trot ahead, I'm gonna turn around. How far back are you from us, Barnaby /
I'm
Sonder?
on Saunders'
Saunders'
staff.
shoulder. So unless I was
So
assuming, I'm assuming that you, Kindred and Galil, you're probably like 10, 15 steps back from the rest of the group. Not like super far. You're still
Yeah,
kind of
but
all
like-
traveling together, but just a couple of steps back. Yeah.
Okay. Hey, Barnaby.
But yes.
So,
Yes?
like, this ritual, is it like...
Saunders like turns around, so he's walking backwards now.
Oh,
Oh, I guess. Wait,
Kinda
you're a
like-
fucking owl. What the hell?
Yeah, you can
My
just
name
kind of do
shows you the thing pretty easily.
Yes.
I forgot.
he, like, turns his head as Saunders turns, so he's, like, back to facing the...
Damn it. Yep.
Anyway, so is this ritual, like, gonna be, like, silence? Like, we can't do anything? Or can we, like, be cool?
I mean, fuck if I know. I haven't actually watched it before. This shit's boring.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I don't usually leave the castle for what I would call peasant business. But yeah, this is it's far for me, and you see, I get followed by people. It's not a vibe out here. But you guys were coming, and honestly, like, I really didn't have fuck else to do.
So, like, halfway through this thing, if it's like just like all silence and moment of prayers, and can we just like sneak off?
If it sucks, we're doing those drugs, man. Like, it's gonna be rad. Like,
I'm ready.
Oh man.
Backfire.
like you gotta wait until the headliner starts so you can peak right at the right moment. You know?
Yeah. I'm just trying to get a heads up that way. I know
Everyone-
like to control my buzz,
Yeah, just make sure you drink a lot of water.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone has a Thunder Buddy,
Actually, you know what? Ask Sonder. He's got a endless.
I do.
He's got you.
Yeah. A decanter.
Well, that's good. Like, we have a river, but that's probably better.
Oh yeah, not that river. No.
Yeah, the river attacked us. There's
Well.
something in it.
Oh yeah, you decant go in the river. Everybody knows that. Well, swing and a miss. I think. Sorry.
No, it was funny. I had a hiccup right when I tried to like laugh, so I didn't get to silence.
You know, it's fine. I like missing every once in a while too. Like, you guys were like too cool for a minute.
I
Like,
laughed. I was muted.
Other than the weird child and the giant like cat, you guys would be like the perfect group of friends. So it's good if my jokes miss every once in a while. Otherwise, it would be awkward. Kind of uncomfortable.
You see from, even though he's like walking like right behind the heads of the caravan, you see Alex. What the heck is Alex? Max. Alex Max. That's why. You see Max just kind of turn his head real quick and just kind of like.
No drugs for you.
I mean,
Ignore them. They're just off it tonight.
who? Me? Oh wait. Yes.
Well done. All right.
Thanks.
Can I summon back Mal's, or is he like gone?
He was dispelled, so I don't know how that would.
Let me go rain the freaking spell.
Yeah.
Man.
I think
I think he has to be
Ritual
resummoned.
I think he has to be resummoned.
I feel like my
Nice.
feathers are a bit ruffled after getting called out. I think I'm gonna cast Lesser Restoration on myself and sober up a bit.
Okay. Okay. Little shake off of the
Yeah, try
of
to-
the spell.
Try to get the what was it? Malibu? Was that what we were drinking? No, it was
Hypnotic.
Hypnotic. That's right.
Yeah.
He was trying to give me a stomach ache. It's too much sugar.
Yeah, it's a lot of sweet.
So then, yeah, I will. Okay, so then this being the case, then Kindred, you had seen a little bit of the magic in his eyes when he had cast Detect Magic, but now with this restoration, you kind of see that the king is a little more arcanely knowledgeable than you.
Oh yeah. Then what he
Well,
liked
and not
to-
just you, I guess. Now, like
Yeah.
everybody else, kind of sees too that.
or does he cast it slyly?
No. Do I do anything slightly? I'm
Show the tail feather.
I'm a bit for being the tiniest
Minor
person here.
restoration.
Just shouts it out into the heavens.
Wow, he basically his subclass is Brian Blessed.
I like the idea that, yeah, just like an anime move, just gotta shout it out. The little lines go. Okay, perfect. All right. So, unless there's anything else that you guys are wanting to say or accomplish before you get to the caravan, we'll go ahead and say you guys. Go ahead, Sonder.
Barnaby, do you come from a long line of royals, or how did you come to become king?
Well, I mean, before I was king, I was still technically royalty. Yes, I do come from a pretty prestigious flock. That's not the word I'm looking for. I forget owl stuff. Anyways.
Avery.
No, that wouldn't be it. Yes, I think that actually is. It's unfortunate. Yes, no, I come from, well, I mean, you don't get to get this good looking as far as owls go without having some kind of prestigious breeding. But as far as
That's
this
called the
kingdom
Parliament. Sorry.
goes, as far as this kingdom goes, no, this was more of a, not so much a gift per se, like I would say like a what is it when you put soldiers somewhere, like a position or like
Assigned?
Yeah, you were
Yeah.
assigned
The
to
station.
stationed. Yeah, I was stationed here.
Deployment.
What I have to offer and what this city needed just fit together too well, so they brought me in out of house.
Did something happen to the previous king here?
Usually that is what happens with kingdoms, yes. I mean, I don't think he got dinosaured, but a lot of people did afterwards, so probably is that the cat? I swear to God.
Oh, we're just getting closer to the dinosaurs.
Oh,
Our
well,
dinosaurs.
Oh, is that dinosaur noises? That's fine. I can deal with dinosaurs. I thought that was the cat.
Perfect girl.
It's interesting. Okay. And then you were given,
You raised this staff a little higher, Saunders. I appreciate it.
yeah, lean it a little more.
Oh, the way that it like kind of perks up your pecs and your lats there, it looks really nice. Work out.
Thank you.
The whole half shirt thing's really working out. Don't meet a lot of blue people.
Yes, I've trained to.
Blue? Oh wait, no,
Pardon me,
being
you can't
blue,
just say that to
like
people. My God.
I'm sorry. I didn't realize.
I'm.
I'll be more careful.
It's fine. I'm half human and half Jinn.
I feel like I'm half Jinn sometimes too.
I can enjoy a Jinn sometimes as well, but it's been a while.
Been a while. Yeah. The
Daddy?
Okay.
Sorry, I'm distracted by the. I think there's a dinosaur orgy happening in the background.
There is a lot of them.
They're a
Well,
mated pair.
they're settling in for the night, so they're just making their
Can I
time.
shorten my waxing poetic and say that my long and auspicious story about the bloodlines that I come from would count as the minute-long cast for motivational speech?
Nice.
If you want.
Ooh.
Then yeah, I'll cast motivational speech as I tell you about a long and very not boring story about owl culture.
I'm down. I am down about this.
Great
I'm sure
grandfather
so will
Muhammad
be
Ali.
No. All right. So, Graham, I saw your fingers were up. What were you gonna say?
Oh, I was just going to point out what Galil put in chat, but you already saw it.
yeah.
So.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Sounds.
Said I'm a chicken nugget. I don't like it.
Yeah, she just look. Yeah, and occasionally, pardon me, while you are telling this story and just gesturing broadly with your wings, and you're kind of looking around to see who all is paying attention, because obviously you're not quiet about this story. You do see
the
that
dinosaurs get the
yeah, you do see the Oreos just kind of like as she walks, and her shoulders keep moving, and she has her head down like that, but she's just like watching you. And like, every time you look, she's just watching you. And you keep expecting her to get a little closer, as cats can do sometimes whenever you're not looking. But she just stays at the same distance, but she's just very intently looking at you.
I'm like slowly like walking a little, like taking little steps up the stick just to get a little further away, And then, yeah, my ego just naturally imbues
You have an eagle?
the nearest 5 people with motivational speech. So whomever
Oh.
of the 7 of you would
Nice.
be the closest to listening to this, you get.
Yeah, I would be nearby.
Yeah, it'd be Sol and Sonder for sure.
Sonder would be like the epicenter at that point.
Yeah, cast it on Sonder, and then everybody else is around him. So, I would say probably I'll give this to like Kindred and Galil. Are you guys?
Yeah.
Did you guys move up
15
more or
steps away.
staying like?
Yeah, kind of like moved
10
in a little
steps
closer,
back.
so that way I'm not like yelling across.
Okay.
Lil said he's exactly 12 steps behind everyone.
Yeah, I saw that exactly.
Are
12.
those like halfling steps or owl steps? Those are very, very short.
No, I think it's regular person steps.
Steps with 2 P's, like.
Yes, this is steppies. Yeah, no, this is so yeah, I will say that maybe Renan, because you're in the back behind, you're kind of like the middle, the joint middle of this 2 groups of like the heads and the mercenaries, right? And we'll say that even when Arjun, you come back up, so you'll be in this too. You had told Max to be up there with the head, so he kind of stays up there a little bit. So we'll just
I would
say
have moved up, so like I'm good being out of it if it's
okay.
I'm trying to give it to somebody else.
No, it was fine. I was just saying that Max is staying up there, so he's not going to be included in this.
So what does that do for us?
What does motivational speech do?
I was just throwing it into chat. It's you
sweet.
take 5 temporary hit points, and you have advantage on wisdom saving throws for the next hour.
Ooh,
Nice.
nice.
Yeah, seeing me just ruffle
Brightens up our day.
just glowing, like not literally glowing, but like
Yeah.
Say that again. Aside from the wisdom saving throws, what else? was
5
it?
temp hit points.
5 temporary hit points. 1 hour. Also, if you're hit with an attack, you have advantage on the next attack roll.
Nice.
So we gotta start a fight. Got it.
I don't know, Khalil. If you were 12 steps back, then you're going to be outside the range because it's within like the immediate vicinity of the person who is casting it.
It's a 60-foot range, but it can only affect 5.
So
Oh,
that's
okay.
Sonder, Soul, me.
So that's why I was saying
Arjun.
whoever the closest 5 would be.
And is yourself included in it?
No,
Really?
well, I don't need it. I'm fantastic.
Famous last
Fantastic.
words.
So yes. All right. Galil says yes.
Do you willingly give it to Oreo, who is slinking behind you?
No,
No.
neither do I give it to the tiny child.
Fair.
That's cannon fodder 1 and cannon fodder 2 as far as
Alrighty,
She
cool.
was At one point.
Oof. Yes.
Okay.
Also true. All right. So.
there's trauma here I don't know about.
Galil. All right, so you are now back in the caravan. The heads of the caravan are going to start gathering everybody together, and they start, relaying the information that they are going to get underway. Now that you are back in the caravan, and you see the camp has kind of been set up for a little bit longer still, you see the dinos that are carrying the goods across the bridge are like lined up and ready with their prospective riders. You have a few minutes before they like settle off to do the next thing. So is there anything else you guys are wanting to do?
I'll take Max aside for just a second. Well, like the fervor of them kind of getting all these animals and things ready, just kind of going to where we've had like our lean-to during some of this.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of making sure he's like in good, proper order, because hopefully he was eating and making sure his clothing's not all messed up or muddied from walk or anything like that. And just there was a moment when that scary, tall-looking guy was asking if you were my son, and I didn't want to speak too highly of you at the time because I didn't really want him looking at you too closely. But you've been keeping up with people this entire time who have decades worth of experience compared to you. That's something to be proud of, and I'm proud of you for that.
Thank you. I'm trying.
You're succeeding.
Arjun,
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't scared of that guy.
Why is that?
It wasn't real. He was just had a bunch of illusions on him. He was putting on a show. It reminded me of what you said about hiding behind things. And I think he's hiding.
Man, kind of getting that impression too.
But I also know, well, Limbrinder told me he was very dangerous. And there's a lot of death around him.
There's a lot of that here. If you're not scared, what are you feeling?
He looks extremely guilty.
Arjun's going to give him a minute to piece that together for a second. And he's going to just sit on the cot or whatever, the sleeping bag, whatever they have. And he's just going to be arranging a couple things, but still kind of be looking at him, letting him take his time with that.
I think he's excited.
Sorry, just so I'm aware, does he mean the god, not god, or does he mean Limbrinder?
It doesn't
You're
seem
nodding,
like
which is
he.
both.
It seems more in line, not in reference to older, but in reference to Limbrinder.
Okay. Why do you think that is?
He looks away from you and looks down at the ground between his feet. Because that's what he feeds on.
What are you most afraid of Limbrinder doing?
He looks up at you with watery eyes. I'm not. I'm sorry. But I'm not I'm not afraid. I'm not scared of him. And I feel like I should be.
Are you scared of the fact that you're not scared?
I don't know.
What do you want to do?
I don't know. I don't know anymore. He gets up from where he was seated next to you and just kind of shuffles over to one of the close by fire pits and just kind of like is staring into the fire.
I am going to go over, but I'm not going to get too close in his space because he needs a bit of time. But part of being treated seriously, like you wanted, is letting you know some things so that you can make some choices. And one of them's going to be happening really soon. And I'm so sorry for that. I'm kind of looking around just to make sure no one's paying too much attention. He's going to use a little bit of the minor illusion to do that white noise feedback thing to hide just a little bit of what they're saying if anybody tries to listen.
As you are looking around, you see moving through the caravan Gabriel, as he seems to be looking for someone. And you see, and there's kind of just like you just notice him, like as he's on the other side of the camp, just kind of walking through the tents, kind of looking around like he's looking for someone in particular. And you look back to Max. Max is watching him as he moves across the camp. Just watching. And you see his face and expression where it had been earnest before and emotional and distraught somehow has a focus to it that you hadn't seen before.
I just think that Ernest,
When-
Ernest scared stupid.
We see the assumed form of Lembrinder. It's just a like Death Knight metal mask. We're not seeing a face, right?
Correct.
Okay, so never mind that. I very quickly let Iskra know that Gabriel is in the camp or in its vicinity, and I trust that Galil is on top of that because of Hunter's Mark.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to notify Ailuin, so he's aware as well of all of these developments.
And I try to slink into Max's question mark eye line.
As soon as you break that line of sight, it's like he is snapped out of whatever he was thinking about.
A choice you're going to have to make in a very short order is where you're going next. Because where we're going is, I think, the most dangerous place we could ever be on this or any other plane. And I really don't want that for you. But at the same time, I am desperately scared of leaving you here on your own. And I know you're not really on your own. You always got him. But I need you to understand you got others too.
Okay.
We could send you home. Or near enough to it. So it's not just about where you go, but what you do. And then I'm going to sort of pat him on the chest. And that's a decision I need you to make.
He just nods. As this is happening, Soul, Sonder, Kindred, what are you guys doing once you guys get back to the camp?
If we're gonna be there for a while, then
You get the
I'll
sense
find-
that you're probably got like 30 minutes maybe or so
Okay.
before they're gonna start moving the stuff.
then yeah, I'm just gonna chill at the fireplace then.
Go up to Iskra and just kind of casually ask if, do you mind, while we have some downtime, playing something calming?
I know a lot of relaxing songs. I'd be happy to share one.
I'd appreciate it. And I will toss you a coin. And while she's doing that, I spend a good amount of time just kind of writing some stuff down. And before time is up, Iskra, I will send it to you, but I hand you a piece of paper.
All right. I choose something that I would have played when we were first flying together on the Reclaimer to Silvery Moon. Invoke a little bit of that nostalgia, considering what I think we're on the edge of.
So,
I'm also going to be sitting by the campfire. I think his mood is going to be somber, knowing what's possibly going to happen here shortly. So, yeah, he's going to be, I wouldn't say mentally preparing, but just contemplating, thinking a little bit too much about it. He's worried, basically. All of that.
yeah.
He's worried.
Renan.
I was going to look over to Galil and we can just retcon whatever the conversation is as far as not engaging in that, but something I've been meaning to do and I've already messaged him about it. But I want to walk over and have a conversation with him, and at some point in as kind of a cover, it would be kind of a flirtatious tone between the two of them, and then handing over the +2 sword to him with a, I believe that you would have a greater use for it than I.
All right. We'll count this as something we can film later in the week, and then we'll just post it in the Discord as an extra, or we start with it next week. We'll see. We'll see what happens. It'll be a fun little trip down memory lane, whatever it might be. So definitely keep that in mind. That sounds fun. Okay, for sure, Galil. Galil says I would have let everyone know any suspicious activity of him, and I'm assuming that you're talking about Gabriel, which you have been watching. Or Renan. This
It was all a trap.
this musician's been very, very touchy-feely lately. I don't know about this guy.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
The bird has been sharing far too many opinions.
Oh no. I love the fact that when you made that face, Barnaby, the mask fell away and you just saw the disappointment in your face for a second and then it popped back up. It was so well timed. So well timed. Good job.
Fourth wall's got to break occasionally. Just like our spirits.
Dum dum dum. All right. So as you guys are doing this, and actually, we'll say Kindred, as you are finishing up this note before you hand it over to Iskra.
Mm-hmm. I just sent it.
Okay. As you are doing that, we'll say it takes Gabriel a little bit. And this note probably just took the length of the song, right? So it's only a couple minutes. But as you hand it over to Iskra,
I guess technically I can't read it yet, so I'm gonna have to wait.
Gabriel is walking up to you.
Have a seat. Enjoy this.
He goes over to Iskra,
What's it doing, Iskra?
produces a couple of silver coins, and hands them out to you.
She's making bank tonight.
I'll take them. A little bit hesitantly at first. But then, yeah. tuck 'em away.
Please continue.
Oh,
Your generosity is appreciated.
And he goes and like smooth as like this, I don't know, melting, like a melting figure almost. He goes down into like this crisscross applesauce next to you. But there's like just this continually smooth, controlled descent that is slightly unnerving as he comes over to and sits by you, Kindred.
this is straight up that scene from Heroes when he like pays the guy at the beginning with Jet Li. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm like, oh, okay.
He like stays watching as Iskra continues to play her song, and then without looking over at you, Kindred, I had hoped that we would be able to speak before you entered the city, but we did not get such an opportunity.
Yeah, that was kind of sprung upon us. But we have now.
I have a feeling that you already know what I was going to present to you.
What's that?
The knoll that was traveling with us
Mm-hmm.
was not all he appears to be.
Yep.
Are you in any danger?
That remains to be seen, honestly.
Did he make any threats?
If you consider an ultimatum a threat.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Gave me the option of staying with the party or staying with him and joining whatever godhood they have. And if Iskra, if you are paying attention close enough, I'm saying this slightly loud enough to hopefully you can catch bits of it.
Okay.
Okay. So, as the tone of Iskra's song starts going faster with this particular tune,
Apparently.
you see that Gabriel's head kind of starts bobbing along with the rhythm of the music. And then he looks over to you, Kindred, and is like, "This is a lovely melody. I'm glad we are able to share this together." And he reaches out and clasps your hand as he just holds on to you. And suddenly you feel this cold feeling in your mind, a sudden familiar sensation that you are used to coming up, like almost like it crawls up from your spine, but this time it comes from a different direction, and you feel that presence once again.
Oh my god. How do you do it?
Sorry for the intrusion. We've been worried about you.
Join the club. At least you're here now, and we're talking before who knows what this fuckery we're going into is.
Indeed. You head towards a dangerous place.
That's an understatement.
But in danger there is opportunity.
This is also true. Just have to weigh and balance the scales accordingly.
Tell me, when this one took your hand, I sensed something missing.
Missing from me, but not far. And I'll motion. Well, you're in my head. Yeah, I'm like, oh yeah,
you can kind of turn. You can kind of turn that direction. I mean, time is not frozen,
Is he
but you
looking up
just
in my eyes? No.
all of a sudden, you see the fire just kind of like frozen in the air. Everything kind of like slow motion, stand still.
I let someone with more of a theatrical flair hold on to it. He might be able to do something even grander than I could. And who knows how this opportunity might present itself.
You feel a sense of recognition and then like a really big grin, even though you've never seen a face to this person.
I feel like it feels almost like the Cheshire Cat smile in the darkness, and Alice in Neverland is just like this floating smile that you sense and don't even see.
Very much so.
I mean, after all, if we're gonna go out with a bang, why not cause a party?
Verily. So, as you're going to leave, I have to ask. I was worried about being able to build a chorus loud enough to drown out that rumble in the deep that called to me. I think now I might be all right, but it will take time to build myself. There is one more thing you could do in the immediate
What's
to assist me. As I said before, I feel a strong connection to you and your friends. I would like to know them.
How can I do that? Would be easiest for you.
Just a simple introduction. A moment to see them eye to eye.
Have you, anyone catch your fancy in particular?
No. No one in particular.
Let's see. Just kind of like lean back and just kind of enjoy the music as I'm just like looking over everybody. I'll never tell. Oh.
Your eyes drift as you're not able to see. You see that Galil is walking towards you, and like a purpose on his face. It's almost like, I will say it's not like it's slow motion, but it is almost like in this slow motion, like
in your symphony playing behind him.
You see that the time is like going, but your perception of everything is slowed. So like time hasn't slowed down in the outside world at all, but in your mind, like everything's happening so fast, it seems kind of slow.
Just like
but your eyes.
Go ahead.
What? No, your eyes dart over to one of the fire pits, and you see Sonder and Soul, and Barnaby's there, like you see him just like talking about some story. You see Ardrin and Max also at like another neighboring campfire, and you see that like they seem to be having a conversation, and almost in that moment as everything's slow, you see Max's face look towards you, unimpeded by the slowing of perception. It almost looks like his face kind of moves in one direction, and his face is still facing Ardrin. You look over and you see like Renan having like walked away from having his conversation with Galil, and Galil's like dead eye coming towards you, and he's got just the grumpy, like the stink eye on his face.
Gills.
Yeah, he is coming for you. But in all of this, in like the blink of an eye moment.
The Moonblood and the one with a fire in him have both taken notice.
Just which one will do what, though? That'll be fun to find out. Although, given my history being correct, you don't fare too well with the devils, isn't that so?
I'm not accustomed to their deals, no, but we are.
I knew you were different. Tick-tock. As I'm like looking back between Max and Galil.
And then you can feel the sensation of Strawberry starting to withdraw a little bit. If there's anything else you're wanting to say, now is the time.
I don't think he would like if we were speaking, considering how forcefully he rejected me.
I tend to agree, and it looks like he's trying to put a damper on our party now. That's his choice, not mine.
Is there anything more I can do for you before I go? You've helped me a great deal, perhaps more than you realize.
You know, through it all, it's been nice just having someone in my head to talk to.
One day, perhaps we'll meet in person.
Is that a promise?
Anything is possible.
That is true, with enough magic and willpower. But let me handle this. We'll meet again one day.
And
We'll be watching.
And
What was
as
that?
you, no, go ahead.
What did you
We'll
say?
be watching.
Okay.
And as you do that, the world kind of comes back to its like normal pace, and Iskra is still playing her song. And you see Galil Galil comes up with his hand like, oh, I oughta, like, as he comes up, and immediately Gabriel releases your hand and kind of puts him on his lap once again, and like looks up at Galil. Come sit with us by the fire. No hesitation hits Kindred.
Make an attack roll.
Oh my gosh. Doing what's best for Kindred.
You don't know me. You're not my dad. I met him.
I love him. Oh my goodness. 16. Oh no. That's okay. It's like it's an attempt at a slap, and it just kind of just like dodge back and out.
You hear like a weird twang as Iskra misses a note. It's like, everything all right?
Yes. We're fine.
Galil looks over at Iskra. It will be in a minute, and then looks back at you.
What?
Looks over at Gabriel. Don't you have somewhere else to be? And just as smoothly lifts himself up off the ground. Hands raised, turns around and walks back into the caravan. Galil watches Gabriel leave and then turns back to you and just says, don't.
Don't what?
So,
So
it's like I know you, Galil, because literally that was the next words out of my mouth was you know what? Goddamn. Perfect.
So I guess I go into the spiel of more in detail what ultimatum I was given earlier.
You say it like out loud to the three of them?
To
Or just directly mostly to Galil?
yes.
Well, I mean, just because I'm saying, like, if Iskra's there playing music, do
Oh,
you
yeah,
say it
if
loud
she's
enough?
there and she's if she pays attention, I'm not gonna I'm not whispering to like only Galil, but in our
You're
immediate
not
vicinity.
like it's not like you're talking at her. You're just saying it loud enough for her to be able to listen while she
exactly.
tunes her instrument or whatever.
And I go into the more finer details of my ultimatum and how I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen.
Okay. All right. Renan, what are you gonna say?
When Galil gets up to walk off towards them, I would walk over towards Sonder and Sol and Barnaby.
Okay.
Hey, Bar. What's up?
Just all bro.
Sup, bro?
It's a Bard, but not those two.
Sup, bird? Got it.
Bard.
Bird.
Not you.
I Bard bird.
That's
Did you call me?
Barnaby. Barnaby?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Oh, did you
Oh,
just
yeah.
call me a bird?
No, I thought they were speaking to me. I'm not sure.
No, I said Bard. Bard. Because you sing that you are a musician.
Indeed.
Yes, it doesn't seem like anybody enjoyed my marching band version of WAP that I was playing before Isker took over.
I thought it was wonderful. Good stuff.
Or were you gonna say something particular, Renan?
Not particularly, just.
Oh, you're
kind
just
of
going over there.
Work my way into that conversation.
Like a little tapeworm.
Oh my god.
Better than a leech.
For once, the conversation's not completely one-sided with Barnaby just talking at everyone, letting my passive perception do its work, since my passive insight doesn't seem to be picking up on why everyone's so fucking weird right now. I thought we were partying. Everybody's like saying goodbye to their loved ones and shit. And like, I just like, I don't know. Like, I shouldn't have got sober.
We're that
As
weird
for
drunk
when,
where we're all like
yeah.
in our feelings.
Yeah, I got
for
sober
when
and now I'm
Renan-
not
That's
on the same
familiar.
Yep.
As for when Renan got over there, he would be actually engaging with Barnaby and kind of trying to lighten the mood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I will say, Barnaby, there definitely even with a passive perception or insight, or if you even were looking around, there's definitely a lot more of a serious tone to everything that is going on than you like fully had anticipated, and it's very interesting because for the amount of times that you are familiar with this process and the many mercenary faces, none of them give a shit about any of this, right? They're just doing their job. But for whatever reason, this particular group, something more is at play. And it's been kind of this nagging thing since you first saw them, that there is something more to this whole situation is that doesn't fit the norm, and that's part of the reason why you have been so interested to see how this whole thing plays out, is because something is different. And then now here, it like solidifies that point of just like something is going on.
Yeah, I could kind of tell there was a bit like, you know that feeling when you get on a bus and you don't realize until about 2 stops in that you might not be on the right bus?
Yeah.
So kind of a bit like that. I've been trying to piece it together, but just watching Kindred get just full smackdown, I think I finally
hit
picked
me.
it up. Like this weird, awkward undertone, people like not walking together. Like, did Galil and Kindred used to be a thing, and like something happened or something?
Yeah, there's a lot of.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
there's
roll
some
for
bad X thing going on right now. I'm just like, listen, I don't judge, right? I see
There's a whole
court
shit.
drama constantly. It's fine.
Court drama.
Dun.
Oof. Yes. Court politics has always been a rather complicated affair.
It's messy at best.
I'm certain.
It's kind of where the fun is, though. But it's, I mean, I feel bad for you guys. Obviously, it really must have hit home. You guys must have been close. Well, not you, Renat. I know you, and you guys are just here for like soldiers of fortune, except not soldiers. You know, just singers of fortune. Whatever, you know what I mean.
So as far as the name that I would have been going by, it's been Iluan.
Oh yes, that's what I said.
Yes.
Not reading it.
No, of course not.
This lovely name tag though.
I know. On Zoom, I've always been keeping it as the nickname. Yes, I actually spent near on a century within a faraway court of a royal, and it was a fascinating time, truly.
We'll go on.
Oh,
Okay.
it's all just, joyous backstabbing until somebody actually got stabbed in the back.
Yeah, fair enough.
You know, those situations can get so dull though that a little bit of color is kind of what it needs. You know, the red just really pops off. It gets kind of whitewashed out.
Fair enough. Though I will say, the more dull a backstabbing becomes, the more times you have to stab.
Oh no. Oh no. Okay. Well, on that note,
Renan too.
High courts are not my place.
all right. On that note, I will say that you see that the caravan group is starting to gather. From the city come 2 red wizards, 2 of the ones that you had seen before. None of the they kind of seem like not necessarily the understudies, but they're just regular.
Like the yellow coats are yellow. What is the Star Trek people?
Yeah.
Acolytes. They are acolytes.
But they come over with 2 guards each, and they post up 1 wizard with 1 dinosaur, 1 wizard with the other, and then 2 guards for each one. Liao goes over to the mercenaries. All right. Well, they have brought some soldiers to help take the riders to their destination. You, of course, if you wouldn't mind making sure they at least get to the halfway mark, and then you're able to come back if you wish, or as soon as you're done. And then once we rest up for another couple hours, I suppose, we'll get back on the road.
Couple of hours, Jesus Christ! Thought this was like a bar, like a pub crawl bar stop.
So,
Will we be able to watch the ritual happen?
Liao shrugs. If you wish, we have never participated in it, so we have kind of just. They have usually sent representatives from the city along with the riders to take them to. Actually, this is the first time. Now that I'm thinking about it, this is the first time they have had to provide the creatures to take them. So usually this is about as far as they go. Some have gone before, and that's about it.
I
But
will
the
say-
heads never leave.
If the mercenaries are planning on going, then I for one think it would be an amazing thing to witness. If you can spare me, of course.
I don't think we'll be needing any more musical services this evening, so you and Iris. My brain went to tulip for whatever reason. I was like, nope, wrong flower.
those.
That's
You
one of
and
those flowers.
Petunia can go.
You and Petunia can do what you want. You and Iris, for you to do as you will for the evening. Just make sure that you are back with everybody else, so that once we are packed up and ready, we may leave. The sooner the better.
Yeah, it's
Of
been a
course.
long.
I will make
Rolling
certain that I return as soon as they do.
Good. Then I will see you all when you return. And he walks away. You can see that he's not like necessarily awkward like I am right now, but it's more of the like perturbed. Like he's just he's just like he's wanting the uncomfortableness since they
This is too new for him. Like somebody on.
yeah, there's a lot of variables that have been introduced in this particular time, and he is kind of nervous about it. So you get the feeling that once you guys are on the road again, once he's on the road again, he'll be fine. But right now, it's just like there's a lot. He looks over. Yeah, he looks over at Barnaby and just bows like, "Your Majesty," and then walks away.
Rustle into whatever like tarp or blanket I found to like make a bit of a nest in, and just roughing it out here, huh? All the time. You guys gotta
All
get
right.
castles, man. This is bullshit.
So then I'll say that we'll go ahead and use this moment as you guys get ready to, if you guys are wanting to go with the caravan, which I'm assuming that you guys are. Yes.
I will
Yeah.
head over to Iris to inform her that I was intending on going and that Liao has given us leave to join the mercenaries.
Galileo
We
says,
just stick together then.
I blew up the caravan so we go by ourselves.
Oh, damn.
Sure. Yeah, we just went full on full on action movie. All right.
So when
Sa-
he doesn't
Fun.
actually have to face the consequences
Right.
of his actions, all of
Yeah,
a
yeah.
sudden he's a
Kindred.
pyromaniac.
All right. So as the caravan gets up, the smaller caravan, not the larger one you've been traveling with, but now the two carts that are filled with things, and the small little procession lit with lanterns starts to head across the bridge and into the woods to head towards the sacrificial platform. Man, words are not coming to my brain anymore. We will go.
Platter?
There's a whole buffet, and it's headed
Can
your
I
way.
get the sacrificial platter?
Oh my
One side
god!
of Galil.
Alrighty then. Give us 10 minutes, and we're gonna go and take a quick break and get some
Recite our
water and stuff.
ABCs.
Yes, recite our ABCs, and we will be right back. So don't go anywhere. Yay!
Barnaby's dead. He's dead. Sound the alarms.
Imposter!
Long live the king
It was our turn all along.
for the watch.
Amazing. Amazing. I love you guys. All right. Well,
Do you?
here.
I feel like you're not about to love us.
I don't know. That remains to be seen. But I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty good. All right. So here we go. The music's not too loud for you guys, right?
I just heard
I can hear.
crickets.
The song
it's
was
crickets too.
the song was
I
just
can't
changing.
hear a thing.
Really?
Oh,
There's something in the
it's
background.
very, very quiet.
It's
I'm
just
hearing it now.
crickets.
Iskra, are you playing music?
It's Chris just dragging up the very back of the caravan at this point, so all of us up front can barely hear.
I've got a boombox, but
There you
it's no, I
you
have
going full
a
John
Walkman,
Cusack
and
in the
it's just on
background?
max volume.
The Walkman on max volume. Oh man, that
So if you're standing close enough, you can hear it.
Yeah.
you put the
If you wanna
headphones
be
down
my
around your
lover,
headphones down around your neck, and it's just like stereo.
make her last forever.
Walking away.
Oh my gosh, I love you guys. All right, here we go.
Aha, I
So
see what
here's
you
the
did there.
story from A to T. You want to get with me? You got.
Take me on.
Oh.
As you guys start traveling along, I'm gonna put these on. You cross the river, the stone bridge that you guys had made. The wheels of the cart.
Okay.
The wheel of fortune.
Where is it? There it is.
Will Wheaton.
Cream.
So as the cart goes up and over the top, it is a very like. This is a different kind of cart sound than I was envisioning because it's a very heavy sounding cart. It's not light, it doesn't bounce around a lot because it is weighed down. So it's got this very like, whereas it like crushes
grinding
little,
mill.
yeah, almost crushes like all the little pebbles and sand that were on the wheels as it goes across.
I want to say I kind of like hold my breath, like, oh shit, is my bridge gonna give out? Like, just for like that split second.
Yeah, and then you realize it's
Do I
just
tell them I only used the level 2 spell when I was supposed to use a level 4? Like, this is not gonna pass inspection.
Dang. Are these carts
Contractors
from
cutting
Walmart?
corners.
Welcome to a world of OSHA violations.
okay.
They're Walmart carts.
As you go across,
Okay.
you have the two carts. The one in the back is the one that is loaded up with the large urns, the large jars of liquid. And you only know this because of the size of the crate that they are in, and they are covered with a tarp. Everything else is boxes and smaller bundles of things. You see a couple of rolls of the really dark blood red fabrics that are put into crates and stuff. It's just everything is tightly packed and arranged and somehow manages to fit into these two large, like almost like covered wagon sized. They're like these long carts. But they have everything on it. And you're walking into the other side of the forest here at middle of the night for all intents and purposes.
Is after we cross the bridge, is like the path that we're going, is it kind of like a well-beaten path, or is it like,
No, it's
well-carved, like ish?
Not everything
It's all-
has a bad abusive relationship, Kindred, okay?
it is a well-beaten path, but it is not like frequently traveled. And with the trees
So the
that
path
are
was traveled.
Yeah, with the trees that are around, there's a bunch. It's almost like a pine needle bed that has created this like softness to it. But you see dirt, and it's not like it's like hard impacted earth, but it is a very obvious path that cuts through the woods.
Okay.
I haven't been
Rubber
raking the
frost.
forest. That's the problem.
Robert Frost path.
You have what'd you say, Iskra?
Sorry, it's old political joke. It's
Oh, okay. With
It's okay, I got it. It's fine.
with two guards to either side of the dinos as they walk, and then a red wizard that kind of stands, one in the front of the dinosaur leading the way, and then one in between both of them as they kind of walk along. Where would you guys like to be situated on this path?
Are the guards, are they like shadow monks, or are they like like the
Proper
city
wizard,
guards?
I thought.
They look like Thayan soldiers. They don't look like city guards. They don't look like the city guards. And even in Barnaby, these are like Thayan soldiers.
Yeah, no, I sent my guards home.
Yeah.
They're fucking useless. All the good ones are dead.
Thol would prefer to hang back, kind of keep a distance away from the Thayan soldiers.
Okay. So you're gonna be towards the back of the procession.
So one wizard and then one wizard, two guards each, right?
Question number 2. Did you bring Max with you, or are you leaving him in charge of the camp while you're gone?
He's dead.
Oh, well, part of it was that I had asked him partly to make a decision. Whether
Or
that's
was this the
now or
part?
later.
Was this the point where you had asked him if he wanted to stay with the caravan,
It was about a lot of things, either about the caravan or about where they're going next.
Yeah.
So you could run with that however you want. How would Max have wanted to do it? That would he stay there? Or
I
would he
mean,
want to come with?
He's gonna want to come with you guys where it is, but I don't know if you wanted, for intents and purposes, all of the mercenaries to go with this and not leave anybody behind. This was a good way to keep him out of danger for the time being, or keep him with you and see what happens.
I would feel even more nervous leaving him by himself there.
Okay. That's all I needed to know.
Hey, let's ransom this kid.
So then he is with you
Or
guys.
we come back and there's this crater where he is the epicenter of.
Right.
So
Brontosaurus ribs everywhere.
him with you. Iluin and Iris, where are you guys?
I would have lingered for a moment so I could have an opportunity to quickly read the note that Kindred had given me.
Okay.
Then I would.
Then I would like run to catch up to Kindred.
Okay.
I would just proceed with the largest clump of the mercenaries. Then.
Okay. Sonder, where are you gonna go?
I'll be just a bit ahead of Soul. So, like, back middle.
Back towards the back in the middle. Okay. Arjun.
Because there's 2 sets of wizards, or one.
There's 2 wizards total.
2 wizards,
yeah.
and then there are 2 guards, right?
Right.
Where is Kindred in relation? Is he towards the back or the front?
Towards the front. Well, I say the front, but towards the back half of the wizard.
So in the
At
middle.
the second cart. Yeah,
in the
wherever.
Okay. What I would have suggested, and obviously feel free to ignore it, but having you closer to the rear wizard and I'd be closer to the front, or vice versa, whichever one you'd want.
I'm at rear wizard. Rear. Oh, God, that's another thing.
R's and W's are literally my bane of my existence. I hate wizards.
Gonna be traveling.
Oh
like,
no,
walking
it's Max in real
next
life.
to Kindred.
So yeah, I'm at the back wizard.
Okay, I'll be towards the front then.
Okay.
Partly because it's the sort of sergeant of the guard kind of thing, and then also just spreading resources appropriately.
Ask Galil, why are you so obsessed with me? Oh,
I think Galil's gonna go with you. Yeah, behind Kindred. I love that it's all in caps. Behind Kindred. Go ahead, Iskra. What were you gonna say?
When Iskra catches back up to Kindred, you don't need a high insight to can tell that like she wants to give you a hug, but considering what we're doing right now, she doesn't. And she's gonna like kind of lean in and say,
just do like one of those things.
yeah, and then she'll say to you, were Atet and I really that obvious?
I think it's cute, and you deserve it. You both deserve it.
I'll have to think about it.
Just say when. And then I'm gonna, after this, I'll give it like a few moments, and then I'm gonna approach the back wizard. Is he like
This one is a guy. It looks like he's maybe like some relation to Elven, not necessarily half Elven, but probably a little, maybe quarter Elven or something. There's a little bit of tip to his ears, but not quite a lot. Head shaved, very like long. You know the elves in like the Elder Scroll games that have like this really narrow face, but very long.
Oh god, what are they fucking called? But yeah,
Yeah. Not that long. Not that long, but close. But very like sunken in cheeks. Tattoos just like emblazoned from the eyes all the way back. It looks very like it would look something. His face kind of gives you something the impression of like something out of Mad Max almost, and this that like skull emaciated look, but then with the fine reds that he is wearing, and they're not like dressy robes, they're like action adventure robes, you know, they're kind of up higher on the calves kind of thing.
Indiana Jones explore wear.
Yeah, something like that. But like, you know, it's like wizarding, but with functionality, practicality of being out in the outdoors. He's not going to get stuck on a random log or twig or whatever.
My pantyhose. Oh no.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll approach him very like humbly, like excuse me, is there anything that we should know, like just to not do to interfere? I know we were invited as guests, but I don't want to. Like, what are any faux pas?
Doesn't say anything. It just keeps walking in silence.
Gotcha. I'm gonna like turn to like the guards. Like, do they have any reaction? Like,
they are like. You can see their faces, and they are all hobgoblins, but they are dressed in like that Roman style gladiatorial kind of like thing, right? And as they are walking, you see their eyes are kind of just watching the woods and the surroundings, but they don't seem to be paying you any mind.
Okay, I'll just stay out of the way. I'm gonna be back, and I just kind of sink back and let them go ahead.
You see
drag.
You as you start to turn around. I don't know if you noticed what my head just did, but it just kind of like turns around and looks at you in this very like haunted, like horror movie kind of way. Are you intending to watch the entire sacrifice?
No, we just didn't want to be rude and not. It seemed like a good honor, so we at least wanted. I just don't want to get in the way. I don't.
You will follow our lead then. And just keeps walking.
Roger.
Like give me a crick in my neck.
That's what you get.
I know. It's like this I get for trying to be like, and I'm like, oh, too far. Yeah.
I used to be able to bend like that.
Right. All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of slink back and just. Seems weird. They said just follow their lead, to not get in their way. I don't know where this is. Quietly, so that way they kind of don't hear me, like. Because. Yeah. This is weird, Galil.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
I would, but you're trying to hit me.
He leans in. They're following, by the way.
Who?
He looks over at you like, are you dumb? Like, you told me to do the hunter's mark?
I didn't tell you to do that. That was old, tall, dark, and handsome over there with the kid.
Right. Well, they're following. A little ways off, but still following.
Well, I honestly think she just wants to help. She seemed sincere when she came to talk to me.
That's what worries me.
Why? You never told me your deal with what they do to you.
The abyss is just not a place that you want to mess with.
Yeah, it's chaos. But I mean, sometimes good things can come from it. Not saying it's common or a lot, but it can fucking happen.
You guys reach the part where the darkness is encroaching thicker. You remember this, Renan, Ardrin, Iskra, Sonder, because you guys came here, right, physically. And Kindred, I guess you saw this too through the arcane eye. And
Pac-Man eye.
Yeah, for Soul and Barnaby, this is your first time experiencing it as you are like here, and probably you, Soul, you've been told, but like to actually feel it. There are the lanterns that hang on all four corners of the cart, and it sheds light all through the trees, and it gives you that haunting look of the passing shadows as you walk deeper and deeper into the woods. But there comes a point when you are traveling that there is no sound. It's almost like all of the woods and all the darkness around you just absorb not only the light, but the sound. It makes everything seem muffled. It's like stepping into a room that has like a bunch of padding in it, right? It just has that, the sound doesn't echo like it normally would. And the darkness seems to creep in deeper and deeper, despite the fact that the lanterns haven't grown any dimmer, and you can see that they haven't grown dimmer, but the shadows seem to press in from all sides. Those of you who have been through here before, remember this sensation. And then the darkness shifts backwards, unlike it had done before. It seems to encroach on all sides, coming in and almost feeling like it's smothering you. And then it just halts and then pulls back to the edges of the road. And now where you used to see those shadows like a ways off as the trees cast the shadows with the light, it just makes like this barrier, and it's almost like you're walking through a cavern. Like, do you remember in old video games like PlayStation 1 era, Crash Bandicoot, it's like a generated path, but it's supposed to look like you're running through the forest, and it just has this like wall, but the wall looks textured to where it looks like trees. It almost gives you that feeling of like walking through a very guided path, but the trees no longer, and the forest around you no longer have a depth. It's as if the darkness holds this line, an almost fog-like barrier along the trees. And then
Is there a choir down there too?
yes, there is now that you asked about it.
It's the sounds of silence.
This, yes.
And that's Barnaby just singing to himself under his breath.
You're a songbird.
Surprise.
Already covered that.
As you are walking along, the cart start to slow as the wizards and soldiers bring up to halt. And you guys who have traveled this distance know you're about a little past the halfway point to the sacrificial altar. The wizards step off to the side, and they look up at the drivers. This is where we stop. The head wizard, a probably older looking woman, hard to tell because she has no hair, but she gives her face, even though a lot of these red wizards look relatively middle to like later in years, she looks a lot older, but you can't tell if it's necessarily being old or if there's just that sunken necrotic like after effect of using necromancy that kind of have sunken in her eyes. And from the shadows of the trees, 6 red wizards emerge. 3 on one side and 3 on the other. And they walk out in a very like uniform walk. It's like step, step, step. And these are wearing full robes that reach the ground. The red almost looks darker than its normal crimson. It almost like dried blood, almost to the point of being black, but it still catches a little bit of the light to make it red.
The
And you see that all 6 faces are exactly the same. It's just near featurelessness to their faces as they walk. Eyes, but no eyebrows. No tattoo markings like with most red wizards. No mouths. Just noses and eyes. And they walk out from the shadows and stand probably about 10 feet off, about like 15 feet off from either side of the cart.
Ryan Reynolds, is that you?
The soldiers and the red wizards gather together and start to kind of walk back the way you guys came. You make the 2 red wizards kind of both make nods at the others that have emerged from the side, but don't speak anything. What are you guys doing?
Are they like coming towards us or like past us, like to the?
Nope, the caravan stopped and they came out of the walls from the sides, just coming out of the darkness there.
Who's
Put my
the
head down.
closest towards Soul?
Me, probably. I'm ahead of you, just slightly.
Are you going somewhere?
I'm gonna put my head down respectfully. That's what I'm
Okay.
doing.
Soul's gonna kind of walk up close to you, and you can feel him behind you. He
Your
wishes
breath.
you were a lot taller right now.
I'm gonna try to like act like I'm trying to stay out of their way and like back up a little bit, like not fast, but just kind of like, oh, okay, oop. And just kind of take a few steps back and see how they react.
Iskra's gonna whisper just at the sight of all of these guys. This feels like such a bad idea.
I probably like link up with Iskra and like link arms like we normally do.
The woman red wizard that had gone with you stops almost as if an afterthought as they were starting to walk past most of you. Turns to the other 6. Then turns to Ardrin and the rest of you. You all are wishing to watch this ritual, yes?
We were invited to as a means of repaying a service that we have done to this kingdom.
She turns to the other 6. They will be observing the ritual. See to their safety. She turns.
At least she didn't say take care of them.
She turns to the soldiers and they start marching back the way they came, leaving.
Like leaving us.
Not seeing to our safety very well, but all right, yeah, sure.
See the
After
6.
after
ahead.
she says that, I just kind of slightly bow. Many thanks.
Did
She
we
doesn't
hear that in
respond.
the back as well?
Oh yeah, she said this loud enough for. She was informing the 6 that had come from the forest. It was loud enough for everyone to hear.
Soul's gonna have a confused look on his face because he's wondering, like, how, what kind of safety are they gonna give us from what?
Sometimes it's best not to ask. You know, you want to go swimming in the ocean till you find out what's in it, right?
Thalassophobia.
There's a lot in there.
Enough.
Much in the ocean.
We know a lot of what's in the ocean already.
All right. So, you guys continue on.
Yeah, just kind of back up and try to stay out of their way and just be seen and not heard.
Four of them, and they move in unison. It's like, did you guys ever watch the newer Tron movie? So you remember whenever those ladies like come out of the wall and they like step in like perfect unison and go back in unison?
Yeah.
It's
Cool.
it's like that.
Different.
Exactly. It's like they move like that in unison together, but there's just soundless as four of them line up to the front, and then two go right between the two carts. And the two that go between the carts, one looks up at the driver, and the driver just kind of like looks down, nods, and you see one of the other ones in the front do the same to the driver, and they both seem to have received some sort of message, and they both
I begin
nod.
reciting poetry in my head.
Are they doing like a Bereska kind of walk?
Are they doing well, they were just saying that I was just using that as an example of them coming forward, but they kind of just move together in one unison. Their movements literally mirroring each other. And then the caravan starts to move again, proceeding deeper into the woods, now under a new escort. And they haven't said a word. Well, they can't, as they have no mouths.
And I'm really not kidding. I start reciting poetry in my head.
Okay.
Can I, observing the six fancy wizards, make like a investigation, like, any different, assemblage, runage on their robes to maybe like, signify some, I don't know, like what I'm looking for, just something different to other than just fancy robes. Like, are they carrying like all like a special dagger or like something like that, amulet, anything?
Make a investigation
Now, when
or
you say
perception. Go ahead.
when you say lipless, like they used to be there and no longer are, or
It is
just, like,
completely
that whole,
smooth.
like, oh, smoothies. Yeah, that's not terrifying. Great.
Oh, like the
They got Mr.
Deadpool.
Anderson.
or that too.
Yeah.
That's
Yes,
a 18.
that was why I said, Ryan Reynolds, is that you?
Yeah.
From Logan, I think it was?
Mhm.
Yeah.
No. Wolverine.
It was one
Wolverine.
of the Wolverines. Wolverine Origins?
Looking at them, now that you get a closer look with the light of the carts around you, the bottoms of their robes look ragged, as if they have been caught and torn on things. And something about their faces. What is it you rolled again?
And I rolled a 9, so 18.
18. Okay. They have a illusion placed on their faces.
Thank God.
I as quietly as I can just whisper that to Iskra.
Whoever or whatever they are beneath that illusion you can't see, but you can definitely see that it is the work of magic, because they are literally mirrored copies, faces, and they are the most. It's like blank. It's like those horror movies that are like sci-fi android, where it's like this just blank face that just there's no telling anything about. There's no. It's like featureless. It's got features, but there's nothing that
They're like the
distinguishes.
crash car dummies
Yeah, kind of.
without the mouth.
Yeah.
Intentional poker face.
Yeah. Iskra, go ahead. What were we gonna say?
I'd like to, for a moment, hang a little back so that I kind of slow my pace back towards Sol and Sonder. And I'm gonna look at Sol and ask, Colin, do you think, in saying very hushed tones, if something goes wrong, do you know the way out of here?
Well, remind me, Aaron. Where we're at, this like forest canopy thing, is it completely covering the sky, or is that open?
It is covered with the
darkness
branches
thing,
and
right?
stuff. Yeah, it's dark,
Yeah.
and then it literally makes you feel like you're in like this tunnel kind of thing. But you can see that there are branches above, but that darkness encroaches on it. It's like whatever magic is at play here, it is holding that darkness back. And you know, it'd be so much thicker if it weren't for whatever bubble it's making around you guys right now.
I honestly, I'm not sure. I would think just go backwards, but it was weird getting here too.
Okay.
Okay, well, no choice but to move forward then. And
All right.
I'll float to the rest of the group, you know. Head towards Renan this time.
All right. What are you guys, Sonder? Are you doing anything, or just kind of watching right now, seeing what happens?
Barnaby's with us.
Yeah.
Still, right?
Mhm.
Okay. How are you looking? How are you feeling?
I mean, how do I look? I was a little ruffled for a second, but I prestidigitated that away.
Oh no.
Yeah,
I-
sorry if I was whoever I was riding on. Might have gotten a little. The uncanny valley is just kind of freaky. I'm not even a person, and I'm like, fuck that shit. Yeah, I'm just kind of I'm curious more so now than I've been in a minute. I'm definitely not in a position to turn around.
You have never experienced this.
No, like surprisingly enough, it's just never really kind of crossed my mind to try. I feel like it's one of those things you hear about, and like I guess it sounds kind of cool, but like
Right. Like skydiving.
yeah, or like the TGI Fridays, like
Yeah.
like why, you know? I'll just stay home. They got stuff on the walls. That's cool, I guess. Like
Right. The old castle. Things to.
yeah, people come through, they drop things off. It's been very business as usual until like honestly, you guys kind of piqued my interest. What with the whole savior scenario and then partying and honestly, yeah, just everybody else is dead, and so I'm just yeah, I'm just trying to see him. I'm just trying to hang out with some cool people. That's all.
Did you lose some good friends?
I wouldn't constitute them as friends. Confidants, acquaintances, servants, peons, soldiers, citizens.
These are usual.
Fun things, yeah. All the children. Just the normal things. But yeah, no, I'm trying to rip this band-aid off, see what this thing is like. And honestly, it's kind of starting to seem like a buzzkill, but I don't know, maybe that's part of the theme, it's like it's exciting.
Not the most
scary.
inviting place. Yeah. But we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, you can take on zombie T-Rexes, you can deal with a couple of pencil pushing, well, whatever.
All right. So, as the 5 seconds later, there's a dull thud. Oh well, the end. You guys continue all along your path, and as you go in, Soul, you notice one of the first things you start to notice is that the trees and the ground give you the creeps. Kind of like they did before when everything was stone, only you see that there are sections of stone that have what almost looks like barnacles, which doesn't make sense because this is nowhere near a river or any ocean that would normally have these things, but you see that there are little patches by like the side of the road where there's like a little stone that comes out of the ground, and it has on it these little gray, dead-looking barnacles.
You know, when I was in Owlette at Strixhaven, they used to call me Barnacles. It's like a teasing name. It pissed me off.
So Soul's fur is going to be standing on end a little bit. He's just going to look a little bit puffier than normal.
Mhm.
And he's walking kind of like with curled toes too. This energy just doesn't feel good.
And aside from what you see, there is an energy to this place that doesn't feel good. It feels very unnatural. And the further in you go, and you see, like, as you kind of like looking around, you look at the wizards as they are guiding the carts along. Even the movements of their arms, and that's really the only thing that you see that moves, is mirrored. So like as they walk, it just kind of like dangles to the side where their arms are literally in sync with each other, and there's just the slightest imperceptible swaying of the robes around their feet, almost as if you don't hear anything, but you have already that sense of all the sound is muffled, but you don't hear any footsteps, and their clothes just kind of like shift, and it shifts almost like you're watching copied duplicates of the one person as they go along.
He's gonna kind of mutter to himself under his breath, but what wrong? Is this it? Is this the police that's causing all of this? It's just a rhetorical question. But
Yeah.
what he's thinking.
Anybody else doing anything before we continue to the next spot? I don't want to cut anybody off from a moment.
Am I still riding with Sonder? Sorry.
Yeah, I think so.
Sonder, you got any money?
I have some money, but I live a fairly frugal lifestyle.
No, I'm the king. I can definitely pay you back. Just let me borrow a copper for a second.
Cool.
Take a copper piece into my claw, so I can have the components necessary to cast detect thoughts. What these things are actually. What's going on inside these fake heads?
What's in your head?
Interesting.
As long as they're within 30 feet of us.
I just want to pay attention to like the wizards that like are all flowy and whatnot. Like, are they interacting with actual objects like that we brought? Are they touching things? Are they physical?
They haven't touched anything.
God damn it. Okay.
They haven't touched a thing.
Ooh.
Except the ground.
No, they're not. He said they're like floating it.
Well,
right?
I just say you don't hear any footsteps. They're definitely on the ground. You see their clothing like drag across the ground. Yeah, but that's the only that's the one physical thing that is touching something else at this point.
Very pass without a trace status.
Yeah, right. Okay, so you're going to cast Detect Thoughts.
Detect thoughts.
Interesting.
Just not to press, just to read surface thoughts, see what's going on in someone's mind, if there's anything going on in these minds.
Is there
Detect
a save?
Thoughts. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
If there's a mind.
Detect thoughts.
Is there a
for surface thoughts? I don't
There's
think
only
so. But to pry,
there's only a
yes.
spell. There's only a spell save if you're trying to actively pry into deeper thoughts.
Interesting. All right. So you have probably the two that are in the middle of the caravan, and then they have the four that are at the very front. The four at the very front, and you have those two in the middle are probably the ones that are closest to you because you're furthest to the back. So you can pick one on the left or one on the right.
I mean, I can kind of shift around, so I'll start with the one on the left.
Okay.
Just because the fear is that they're all the same,
the
It's the
first
same
one, the first one you thought you see, or the first one you connect with, you definitely feel the mind that is there. There's definitely something there. There's definitely something there.
Is it thinking about astronaut ice cream?
Oh gosh, what was that? Are they about to
Oh.
drop a sick beat?
Guys, I hate to tell you,
Oh my god, is Daft Punk getting back
we
together?
can't have
Right? Like,
any of
are we in
that.
Tron?
the big bad evil guy is either Skrillex or the Borg. I'm sorry to tell you.
But
Is
there's
this the party
there's
that
this-
Barnaby was inviting us to?
surprise.
Hey, motherfuckers.
Faster, stronger.
This is it is definitely a collective sound of voices, a bunch of different tones. That sounded a lot more robotic than I would have liked, but that's the only one that I have that gets the exact
We're going for a hive-ish perspective here.
yeah, something like that. But it's just definitely has this like hive mind kind of mentality, and whatever language it is that they are speaking is
Ding dial up.
is not is not it. It's like you can't. It's not a language that you're familiar with.
Well, curious that you would say that.
I can't comprehend languages.
No, not that.
Oh.
I have universal speech.
Oh,
Ooh.
interesting.
Yeah.
You are just a surprising little bird.
Short Kings represent.
Although that technically universal speech would be they would be able to understand me.
To make your speech. Oh yeah, if you were speaking to them. Yeah. I see what it is.
Damn.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
They would understand the words that were
Languages
coming out
is
of
the
my mouth.
reverse.
Yes, but comprehend languages is a spell. This is a
That's just a bardic ability. Yeah.
son of a bitch.
So it's just
Too bad.
that-
I don't speak. It's Michael Bay. We're fighting Michael Bay. Everybody, get excited. It'll be
Ain't nobody speak THX.
Decepticons, roll out.
oh my
Whoever
god.
whoever has the aux cable, plug it in all the way.
Perfect. I love that. All right.
At 5G.
Well done, Sander. Well done, guys. I love y'all.
When
All right.
when
Go ahead.
Iskra gets up next to me,
Mhm.
If she looks over at me at all, she just sees that I'm kind of keeping an almost distant look. I'm kind of looking past all of them, and my mouth is moving. If she pays attention, she might be able to pick up on some of what the sounds could be, but it's all in Ruvian, but I'm not actually speaking, so...
Does it seem like he's casting a spell?
I don't know. Are you?
None of the normal accompaniment. So like my eyes are normal, there's no lightning in my eyes, my fingertips are not arcing, none of my tattoos are making any kind of show. So
With an insight check, would I tell if you seem nervous? Or are you just gonna give that to me?
yeah, I could give it to you. I don't seem nervous, I just seem disengaged to an extent. I'm very almost too composed as I'm
At
just
the ready, battle
reciting
ready.
something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, considering how serious the situation is, I think rather than interrupt him in that, I'm gonna leave him be. If he doesn't seem nervous, he just seems like he's getting in the zone. Then I'll come close for a minute and hopefully recognizes my presence. But otherwise, I'll move on.
As if you get close enough, then you'll be able to hear very, very hushed tone. And do you still have it involuntarily active?
Yeah.
That's
But I
kinda
think
become
it's mostly Thayan right now.
Yeah.
So
So you hear what's definitely Ruvian Elvish because you've heard him speak Ruvian Elvish before, but it has kind of a rhythmic cadence, and at some point as we're walking along, it goes back to the beginning, and you start hearing him saying the same thing again.
okay, well that makes sense. I can figure that out.
Yeah.
Words to the Macarena. Just
So if you, I guess it was more with this is kind of more like if your mind goes, I wonder what he's saying, and you're trying to comprehend it, you might be able to just like automatically switch. But yeah, just letting you know. All right. If there is nothing further, then as you guys continue on,
I would probably shift my focus of detect thoughts through the gauntlet
neck.
of them to make sure they were all dial tone.
yes. As you go to the next one, it is not the same pitch, but it is definitely the same style of like they are speaking in like a group together, and it is just this noise of there is a mind there. It's an intelligent mind, but it is yet also at the same time a simple one.
The number you've attempted to reach is not an in-service.
Well, once I finish them, I'd start shifting through the party.
They just all look at
Just
Barnaby.
start- All right.
They just all look at Barnaby and say, "We have been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty," and then they all look forward and keep marching.
So the first mind that you would see then would be Saunders, probably because he's right next to you. What are you thinking right now? Top of your mind, what is your mind's thinking? Surface thoughts.
Probably thinking about the barnacles and like what it has to do with the forest and what we're going towards, you know.
Okay. Close. The next closest would be Soul. You kind of shift over there. What are you thinking about, Soul? Surface thoughts.
There's a whole lot of nervousness, anxiety. Periodically, Soul kind of like picks up his foot and shakes it on both of them, just to try to shake off this bad, ugly energy in this area. And so he's thinking things like, is it too late to back out now? We're already... He's muttering a lot in his own head, like, we're already here, so we have to follow through. But how am I going to keep everyone alive? What are they supposed to keep us safe from? They're really scary. I don't like them.
Really picked an interesting duo to start with on the vibe check. Which I wasn't as empathetic as I am.
Damn, this place is a graveyard.
I thought we were going to watch like Monster Jam or something, and all of a sudden everyone's like, "Dude, we're gonna die."
Ardred, what are your surface thoughts?
Rather coincidentally, what someone as a mercenary captain would be doing is contemplating the numbers, where everyone is standing, where everyone is going, how to react if any of them make a move that I don't like. And
Pawn to E4.
basically doing the Apache attack helicopter thing, where it's basically prioritizing targets.
So you have like ADHD. All right, great.
Not the way I would categorize it, but sure.
Oh, I mean that's my hypervigilance in reality all the time. Not Barbie trash can. Trash can just does that.
I could see Ardrin has like the whole what was that Netflix show about? Oh, the Queen something chess queen.
The Queen's Gambit.
Queen's Gambit, yeah.
Mhm.
These like
Yeah.
he matches the whole chessboard.
Kindred.
Normally, I'd have non-detection up, but this is fun. I'm gonna do this. Taking in, just like clocking everything, like looking, noticing, but in order to like keep myself calm, I'm just like, sorry, I'm not home right now. Walking in the spider web, so leave a message and I'll call you back. Wait, is someone here?
Oh no, I can't. I
Nice.
cast message. No.
Somebody call him.
No, that wasn't me. Sorry, wrong
Strawberry?
No,
Strawberry?
just us birds.
number. Scooching over to Renan. What is your? I'm assuming it's in Ruvian.
This is enjoyable. Not that-
And it just keeps going through what almost sounds like a lullaby.
Yeah.
Kratos.
Istra.
He looks nervous. Oh, okay. Not nervous, just focused. All right. Who next? Check on everyone.
If you're when you looked
staring at
over
me.
or like got close enough, I would look up and just do this and continue with what I was doing.
Okay.
If that meant anything to you, great. If it didn't,
Peekaboo.
not something I'm worried about at the moment.
Getting
Is Grizz like Soul looks a little fluffier than normal?
Right.
Okay.
getting a better understanding of the vibe that I wasn't picking up earlier. Not stoked about it though.
If you go over to Kindred, if you
Oh,
go
God.
over to Galil,
Oh, what's
you,
Galil
you-
thinking?
you see his mind go, or you hear his mind go, I don't trust that. There's something about that devil. There's a devil in that boy, and we're gonna have to do something about it. And then on top of that, all of that, we have something to do. That strawberry thing has to keep popping up. Why does the abyss keep popping up? Everywhere we go, the abyss keeps popping up. And now she's here too. And now that he's here too with us. Probably should have left him at camp.
Why is Galil like Bobby Boucher's mother?
So, that about covers it
there.
for. Everybody seems to have their thoughts on the present or each other, is basically what you notice.
Except for me.
Except for Kindred, who's like reciting some other bard that you barely heard about. Gwen of the Stefani, you know.
Oh, I've
No
heard of
doubt.
them, no doubt. Come on.
No doubt you've heard of her. All right,
Without
so
a doubt.
Well,
that hurt me. That hurt me a lot. I hope you know. All right, so the clearing breaks, and you find yourselves in a large opening around the forest. There in the center, as some of you have already seen, and then for those of you who haven't, is a pathway that leads down into a pit that goes probably about 60 to 70 feet down. It just kind of curves slowly around till you get to the center. And in the very center of it, as the light from your lanterns light the way, and the wizards go down the path and around the side, still nothing changes in their movement. No sounds have been uttered. They just guide the drivers with their cargo down to the center, to the center of this clearing, and then down into the center of this pit. Are you guys doing anything? Do you follow?
I'm not following down there. I'm just watch from above.
I will
Get box seats.
yeah, well, it's the notes down there.
I will go at the very least down the corkscrew enough that the illusion that I'm
There is no illusion this time. As you guys have entered this clearing, it is completely clear. It is just dark.
Okay.
Whatever.
Somewhere I can see down.
Okay. Do you stay at the
I have a
top?
question.
Yes.
These red wizards, do they have like? Does their movement remind Sonder of the creatures from Silvery Moon? that were kind of
Amaranths.
yeah, amaranths like
assistants.
henches.
Yeah.
it was like floaty. No, were they floaty? No,
Somewhere.
but they were
Somewhere.
right.
To an extent, yes.
Like it's the weird wizards I imagine would use some of the same things probably. So then, just wondered if this was something similar, or if their movement or the way that they looked was similar to that.
Soul, as you're approaching this pit, you feel worms in your stomach. A tightening knot of just this whatever you are approaching is making you almost sick to your stomach. Something is so off about this place. It does not belong here. It should not be here. This is not. And you just kind of keep thinking that in your head over and over. It's like the knots form and tighten your stomach.
Soul's going to reach out and kind of cling on to Saunders' half, whatever you call it,
The shirt thingy.
robe. Yeah, shirt robe. Thank you.
Tunic? Question mark?
Yep. And he's just, I wouldn't say that he's stumbling, but he definitely looks a little bit off balance as he's walking. Also, yeah, you see his like toes are curled like while he's trying to walk too. It's just really bad.
Oh, you hold my hand.
He holds your hand, but you do feel like maybe a little bit more weight to it. Like
Yeah.
Almost as if you're kind
It's
of
leaning.
Yeah, supporting him up a little bit.
So,
Arjun, what are you doing? Where are you going? Do you follow down into the pit?
Are they leading us, or does it seem more like it is like we're no longer really there and they're going through their own motions?
They're just walking, and the caravan is following.
We in a line at Disney World. We don't even know what ride it's on for.
I don't even know if this is just for the ticket booth or for the Dixie Cups or
Bathroom.
whatever.
Yeah.
It's a day world
Bathroom.
after all.
It's the worst conga line ever.
I guess I'm going to at least go as far as the wagons, the carts, whatever they're kind of just going with the facade of still overseeing the transfer kind of thing.
Okay.
But I'll have Max hang back a little bit.
Well, shit. If he's going down,
It's-
then I would be going with
He's following you, and then when you tell him to kind of hang back a little bit, he just shakes his head. I want to go down there.
That's actually the most terrifying thing that's happened so far.
I look down at him and say, there's a moment where I'm going to tell you to do as you're told. Now's that time. Hang back.
What were the
he
thoughts to that child?
He turns around and starts walking back up the edge. Do you put that? How long does that spell last?
What? Oh, detect thoughts?
Yeah,
It's concentration up to a minute.
it probably would have passed unless you want to cast it again.
No, I don't. I'm afraid of what the answer is. To be honest.
I'm just saying, from the time you it would have taken about a minute to go through everybody, and then it would have faded. Just to switch from person to person. You can cast it again if you want.
No, I'm getting Wicked Omen vibes from the kid. I'm over it. Sorry.
I did it for you, Damien.
Yeah, the only answer I could get would be a negative one. I'm not gonna enjoy. There's no positive answer.
He goes
Worst
back
case scenario.
up to the top. Galil, are you going down to the bottom, or are you wanting to place yourself? You can answer whenever you get the chance. Iskra, what are you doing?
Yeah, I'll
Got
head
it.
close as tense as this all is, I feel like, all right, you know what? We're here. The way I've gotten through these things in the past is just by committing. So here we go.
Wouldn't it be fun at the end of this if we were known for our haunted houses and like this is just like the most
Right.
Oh, do we
Why do
have
you
a
say
story
that?
for you? We'll have to tell you later.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sit by me.
nachos and hay rides. That's what we got here.
So, as you get, so basically, pretty much everyone's going down, at least into the pit a little bit, right?
Yeah.
As far as I'm understanding,
I'm gonna stay up top. I'm gonna stay
You're
up top.
you're gonna stay up top.
Make sure we're not routed and ambushed. For
Okay.
the piece of the kingdom.
For the piece of the kingdom. Sonder, Soul, are you guys staying at the top with Kindred or following with everybody else?
I'm going down.
Galil's going down there.
Soul's following Sonder. He would like to stay behind with Kindred, but he also feels like he needs to make sure he can heal if need be everyone.
Okay. Yeah, and most
Is it
I feel like
best-
most everybody is downstairs.
Pretty
As I
much.
pass by Kindred, I'm gonna tell him, don't you want to see the ritual?
I can see from here.
Okay.
Can we actually? Like,
Yeah, he said that the fog thing's all cleared out, and I'll just look down. My elven eyes.
I was gonna say
Okay.
they have like
You-
the viewfinders that you find at like the top of the Empire State.
You go down below and you start following the carts. And the carts by now have started to reach the very bottom. And they kind of just slowly make the circle all the way back to the bottom. The wizards break off. They move over to each pillar. And as they get to each pillar, you see the riders stop the carts. They're almost like on opposite sides. And then they get off their beasts and start unwrapping or unlashing the goods. The wizards then meld into each of the 6 pillars. Completely disappearing into each bony claw. And for Barnaby, because I don't know if you remember this platform has like 6 like claw, almost finger-like, claw-like digits that go all the way around, right? And they all point inwards. Each of the wizards goes inside of, just like complete meld into stone, vanishes into each of these digits. And once the riders have completely unlashed the things, you hear creaking of stone as all 6 of these digits start to move and flex upwards, becoming almost like they go from going like this to going outwards, creating an almost crown-like spread.
7 of them.
Thank
6.
goodness.
Oh, 6.
If they would have gone inward, it would have been like a cage. That would have been terrifying. Hopefully it was-
And then you see the carts and the goods lift up off the carts and start to levitate in the air.
Wow.
Where are the soldiers? Did they all left? It's just us wizards.
It's just you. It was just you and them.
Okay. Since I'm up on the ledge and there's no wizard behind me, when I look around, no one else coming out of the woodworks.
No one that you see.
Eyes flash and I'm detect magic and I'm just watching.
Blinded by all the magic happening.
Oh my
before you.
god! I don't do it.
inside of like fireworks, like
Okay. God damn it.
Julia
Nah,
mentioned something
yeah,
about-
I saw the hunter's mark is still active and he's paying attention to every detail of this while he's downstairs. Downstairs.
oh, the phrasing.
You sense.
They get off all their beasts. Like, man, this is a different show than I expected.
All right, I'll send him a message. He can do with that as he wishes.
To roll a new character. Or...
Kindred, as you're watching this, there are, oh God, I don't know what the school of magic is for levitation, but that one is basically being used. I don't remember if whatever it is.
Enchant? No.
It's not. I thought it was enchantment, but I can look it up, but I'm not going to bother with it right now.
But that one.
That one. But there is something else here.
Transmutation.
Transmutation. Thank you. There is a 9th school at work. Something that you do not or have not seen. And it moves with a sickly darkness that is reminiscent of the sickly magic or whatever it is that is in the river. It kind of has that like liquidy movement, and it operates in these weird ribbons and pulses. You ever like, you know, when like in the on the sun, for example, they have those bands of heat that just kind of go flying outwards. The little bands of like suns. Yeah.
The solar flares.
Solar flares.
Plasma,
Thank you.
And
Thank
the corona.
That one.
Okay.
Like that, but black and inky, and it occasionally boils out from these the fingers. You just see it go and then fall back inside, and then another one go and then falls back inside, just from different ones. It's like, it's almost like it's heating up, and they go faster and pulse further, and all the goods are brought into the center, and then just one by one,
It's entering the singularium. Supernova.
They all start landing on the inside. For everybody who's watching from the inside, you just see these things lift up and move in place in the center. The stone fingers having opened up into that crown-looking thing, and then they start to glow. They pulse with this green-white light. It's like watching cuttlefish in the ocean, where it just like starts pulsing faster. Faster and faster and faster and faster and faster and faster.
Oh, we should take those. We should eat that. We should eat that flower now. You look fucking sick, bro.
Do you?
I mean, not by myself. I'm trying to be the only one tripping balls. Anyone want to ride this lightning? Let's go.
Well, I'm just saying, this is starting to happen. If you're gonna do anything with the flower, now's your time.
Now's your peak. Peak it.
I'm holding it. They're trying to. I'm trying to find like I don't know, rolling buddies.
Sauter's the closest person to you.
I have obligations, but I also would like to know what it would feel like to be on that mushroom.
Listen,
Do it.
Come on,
throw him in the fire.
YOLO, man. Like,
I'm gonna think about the fact that I could probably like negate the
Yeah, you're immune to
poison
that
or
stuff.
disease of that. So
I could probably keep my sanity long enough to cast lesser restoration. It should be fine.
Okay.
Fucking.
Do you guys split the flower?
I wasn't told what the dosage was on this. It was just kind of handed to me and be like, "You do you, fam."
this was given by the strawberry.
But it was given to me by someone I trust with my life.
With perfect love and perfect trust. Taco.
Yeesh.
What are you gonna do, Sonder?
I reach a really, really nice pedicured claw out, holding half of whatever.
I'm gonna take it.
Yes!
Okay.
Okay.
And
I don't have chaser for this, so hopefully it doesn't.
And I'll kind of like clink it with you, like you would a glass.
Nice.
Interesting.
No regrets.
All right.
Go ahead.
Miss Sonder.
It's gonna take a while to honk this thing down.
I love it. Okay.
Not having teeth to chew with, it's gonna take a while for my teeth
The pulse continues.
You can steal. Yeah. Front of me.
Oh, I hear it too. That's fucking great.
Do you ask him who gave it to you?
Yeah.
What?
He
I
asked you who gave you the flower?
I don't remember. Some guy's kid. I don't know.
Some guy's kid.
Bro code.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, as that happens,
I was drunk. I don't fucking remember.
yeah, no, for sure. A shield of light covers the entirety of the platform. And by the flower, I'm sorry, the entirety of the pit. Kindred, you can't see inside the pit anymore.
Am I blind? Oh my gosh. Did my retina detach?
There is you just see this like dull white light, and you see this shield laced over the top of the pit. You haven't seen a shield that looks like this since Neverwinter. For Galil and Sonder, you also have seen, you see it from the opposite side, you see it from below. The same kind of light that goes across. And you recognize this shield covering was used in Neverwinter when they were teleporting things from one place to another. And you can't see through the other side of it, Kindred. You see Max look over at you, because he too is over by you right now. He looks over at you and is like, what's happening? We can't see inside. What's happening?
It's okay. Don't worry. Just don't touch it. Stay here. They know what they're doing.
The lights flash. From the inside, this shield over the top opens up, and you can see it looks like it's it almost looks like kind of like a black hole or like a vortex of water. It just starts to go upwards like this and starts stretching upwards. From the outside, it looks completely flat, and you see the goods start flying upwards. What are you guys doing there on the inside as all of this is happening?
This flower was a great idea. Little bird dap with my fucking claw.
Iskra, Renan, what are you guys doing?
This might be the chance. I'm thinking about just jumping.
I was thinking the same thing.
You guys haven't called the void?
I'm looking between everybody that's down here.
Yeah, you know what? This is the moment. I'm gonna do it. Yep.
You jump in.
I go too.
I guess if you kind of like just one quick look at Iskra and just.
Yeah.
And the club is.
Do I remember where approximately like the direction that actually sending can be to anyone anywhere, right?
No, you have to point to them. Wait, no, sending, yes.
Sending is anywhere.
As I'm taking my first few steps running towards it, I'll cast sending to Kindred and say, we're going in, this may be our only chance, and that's about the time I'd pass over the barrier.
Interesting.
Assuming they don't stop us.
Okay. Soul, what are you doing?
So people are now actually going through, right? Like,
well,
but in something.
You see them moving towards the platform. You guys were all standing on the outside.
Okay.
The wizards are gone, right?
Rushing it, yeah.
You, for those of you also on the inside, you will have seen the sand that goes all the way around has lifted and has created like this little bit of a swirling mass in which you see little runes popping up. They're just going all the way around the circle. The two drivers that were there are staring at the center with they're like staring through it. They're just not even, it's like they are gone.
Like the lights in it.
Sure. I haven't seen it, so we're just gonna go. I'm just gonna go with like they look hypnotized to a degree. They're just kind of staring off. Okay.
So I guess Soul's gonna notice everyone kind of looking at each other, and just I guess can I roll? Let me roll a insight.
Sure.
Because thus far, the series of events is Travis starts running, Iris starts running, Renan starts running. Now, that's about where I think we are.
I imagine is
I got a 23 on insight.
Iris and Travis would be going at the exact same moment. 'cause
Yeah, I think
yeah.
it was one of those, like, we both had the
Just like no
thought
words needed.
at the
just...
same time. It's like, we gotta do it.
Like it wouldn't have even taken a full turn for Renan to have started running too.
Okay.
Y'all just gonna leave me with the kid.
So I
You
rolled
got
a
him in the
23
divorce.
insight, but if Soul sees everyone start running towards it, then he's just gonna start panicking. Shit. Start running too.
Hey, Barnaby, you want to really trip out?
Yeah.
Let's go inside.
Oh no, absolutely. I'm definitely flying towards it. But in retrospect, speaking of like Soul, like kind of freaking out, like after kind of getting a vibe check on everybody when I was in their brains, I would have probably like offered him some of the mushroom too, just to like
well,
like a stress release kind of thing. I feel bad.
As everybody starts to rush forward, you cross that sand barrier. The last of the goods has gone whoosh, 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 and you see it's still activated. Immediately as Iskra and Travis break that line, something comes down. And you see 6 similar looking red wizards that just like have appeared, and their eyes are misshapen. There are 3 eyes on them, 2 in the center, 1 in the middle. Arms outstretched. They scream and rush at all of you.
Get it! Yeah!
And that's where we'll have to pick up next time.
Say next, you want to go
man.
back home? I guess we're done here.
Here we go.
So excited.
I feel so bad that Kindred Kindred was going to sacrifice himself not 2 episodes ago by going into the portal alone,
And y'all talked me out of it.
and now he's the only person outside.
There's no way for me to get in.
We'll have to
We'll
see.
figure that out.
We'll have to
Yeah.
figure out a way next week.
Dispel. Maybe.
The spell is still active for how long? Who knows? But there are 6 wizard-like creatures that are rushing you guys right now to try and
So
defend the
those
platform.
Wait, you said they
Quick.
screamed. Did they have a mouth though?
These had mouths.
Okay.
Quick question.
No, it was just ice cream.
I know Renan said
That's
that
true,
right
no,
before
that's
he
true.
dove in, he cast sending to me. Did that go through at all?
I guess
Oh,
we'll find out.
Okay.
Damn it.
Oh man, this is great.
So I was imagining like in Thor when they activate the Tesseract, or not the Tesseract, the
Yeah.
Frost.
The
The
Bifrost.
Bifrost.
and it shoots like portaling
No,
down people.
portals down,
That's
yeah.
how I imagine.
That's basically it's something like akin to that, and also those like little funnels that you would put a penny in as a kid. They don't really have them anymore, and it just kind of goes around and around and around. It kind of looks like that, but just inverted, where it's just this light that kind of spews upward.
It looks sick as hell.
I like that. Like,
With the one
Oh.
ones too.
I gave you my good drugs. Damn it.
We can play for 4 more hours, right, guys?
I guess.
No, I got a busy day tomorrow with flocking eyes.
Iska
All right.
needs to play Lightfall, so
She needs to go at least like spend part of her
won't be
birthday
doing
with her
that tonight,
girlfriend.
but yeah.
All right. Well, that was something, and that way it'll give us the opportunity to get Galil back for the fight and stuff like that. So it actually worked out really well. I'm glad.
It's a fight.
Well, apparently, unless you guys can figure out a way to reason with the 6 things that are trying to prevent you from going into the middle of
Do you
this
know
thing.
who my dad is?
Right now, I don't think
Figure
you're.
out- I'll
In
just,
the
like,
way
pull
we're
some,
trying
like,
to use
rugby
the
jukes
escalator.
and-
Do you know who I am? I want to speak to your manager.
No, yeah.
Oh, the manager. Uh-oh.
Shit.
The
I'm
consumer.
still trying to figure out how I
products.
like bullshitted my way into this scenario.
Hey man, you're one of
Yeah.
us now. You're a brigader.
I was just here for the memes, bro. Now, like, I have zero, like, utility spells in fights.
Hey, you've been doing like some awesome info shit.
I'm here for role.
Oh, where'd your face go? Your face melted.
Oh, sorry.
No, leave it.
I
There
guess
goes.
he got so high he can't feel his face when he's with us.
Yeah,
No,
She's
there you go.
Canonically, I'm actually a gnome. That's
Oh
King
my
Barnaby,
gosh, I
welcome
love
to the
it.
rebellion.
Well,
It's like
this
10,000 spoons, so now you need a banana.
that is also not it for now. We also have a post-credit scene that we have filmed for an upcoming announcement that we've got going. So stay tuned for that.
Okay.
But in the meantime, thanks for hanging out with us. We'll probably try and find someone to raid once we're done with this. So we'll see where things continue to go for the brigade next Tuesday. This Friday,
I got another kid. That's what happened.
Yeah.
Another one.
No, this Friday, I think Ardrin, you're gonna be clickety clackety, right?
As far as I know.
Alrighty, cool. Well, go check them out on clickety clackety RTA. You can find them on Twitch. And go give them some love Friday at 7. Thank you so much, Dirt Kitten, for hanging out with us. And there was somebody else that I saw earlier too that I hadn't seen in a while. I don't remember who it was. Yeah. Well, thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you guys for coming and hanging out. And so until next time, we'll stay brave, be fey. Or be fey, stay brave. All those things. Just be fey. You know what? Be fey.
Be you. Just be utter and unapologetically you.
There you go. All right. Until next time, enjoy the after credit scene, and we will see you next time.
Take it away, Skrillex.
Bye. The sun had set in Kalimport, and revelry was in the evening air. Well, at least for those in the higher-ups of the chain who had been invited to the celebration that was happening at the palace with the arrival of the daughter of Tiamat and her horde of wyvern riders. For the rest of the streets, however, something else was floating through those streets. Was it nerves? Possibly. Change? Definitely. Even as you walk through the busy streets toward the dockwards, you see people's eyes occasionally glance up at the palace, where the shifting wyverns on the rooftops looked like odd scaly birds whose necks craned occasionally to look around the city. As you pulled your sandy cloak around you, Naja, describe yourself and where you are headed this particular evening.
Naja is an androgynous-looking tiefling with short, dark hair. She's got grayish, sandy-colored skin. She is only about 5 feet tall, but her horns, which are like those of the Meridian orcs, add an extra foot to her height. She's got a nose ring on the right side, which connects up to a right horn ring, and a cut that cleaves her left eyebrow in two that fades up into her hairline. Tonight I'm headed to the Stumble Down to have a quick drink and listen in to the talk about our city's new guests. Get a feel for how the city is reacting to them.
All right. As you open the door, and to the tavern. You see that there is already a decent-sized amount of people on the inside. You head over to the barkeep, one of your usual friends and contacts. He sees you coming in, kind of nods in your direction, and then smiles.
Ah, Naja. One of your usual potions, I'm assuming?
Did you get any more of that ruby nonsense you have on reserve?
You know it. That old cur was a bitch to deal with this time around, though. But that's not unusual, I guess.
You take a sip of the glass that he pours for you. It's something minty and very strong. You set some coins on the table after you take that quick gulp and lean in for the customary kiss on the cheek. When he does so, however, there is a tension that you feel, and he whispers quickly in your ear.
Hey, you might want to stick close to the family tonight. There's something going on. Nubis sent a warning from the Undercity. The bones read ill omens tonight.
He pulls back and smiles broadly.
I'm going to tap my knuckles twice on the counter to indicate that I understand. I'm going to finish my drink with one burning swig. Keep an eye on the tide tonight, Talbari.
He nods. And you head out. As you leave the tavern and go back on the streets, you head towards the warehouse where your family calls home. The streets are becoming a little thinned out now. Less people moving about as, though they can almost sense there's something wrong, there's some danger. And for a minute, your guard goes up, your defenses rise. And then your heart leaps out of its chest as the first bursts of fireworks light across the city and the skyscape around you. You can hear a couple of oohs and ahs as some of the people who are walking stop and look up. Even with all the princes and most of the guards' attention focused around the palace grounds, it doesn't change the tension that's in the streets. Tension that at any moment the knife's edge the city lives on would slip and death would follow. Unknown to you at the time, that is exactly what happened. A few quiet hours have passed since you have arrived at the Aishar's warehouse. And that's when you hear the loud banging on the door. Bum, 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 bum. And then it happens again. Bum, 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 bum. And that's when it busts open.
I'm going to bring my buckler off my back and pull out my scimitar. Sala's watching the entrance tonight. He should have notified us if anything's out of the ordinary, but he hasn't. And we weren't expecting anyone. Those of us who are skilled at fighting make our way towards the door while the rest quickly try to cover the goods in the back.
The soldiers enter the room. But these are not the soldiers from the city, and they're definitely not familiar to you. These are foreign soldiers. That's odd.
By order of the Queen Mother, we are seizing the docks for her infernal majesty.
Hilato.
Sheikh Navadek Madeka. Gorkazistua.
The dock workers, as they like to be during the day, are quick to react, calling their bluff, telling them to piss off. Bardoom is the one who pushes first, though, and is the first to feel the fiery wrath that follows. With an outstretched hand, one of the guards flicks something towards him, and Bardoom suddenly bursts into flames, and before he explodes across the room. And it's after that everything becomes a blur. What do you do, Naja? Do you run? Do you hide? Or do you fight?
Of course I fight. The Ayrshire clan hasn't gotten where it is without fighting for what's ours. So what if this is a little stranger than typical clan-on-clan violence? This is ours and we'll make sure it stays that way.
Before long, the warehouse is ablaze, and you are one of the only ones left breathing. Even as you fall to your hands and knees, smoke choking your lungs, it seems that even your infernal blood in your veins is not enough to stall this death. You can feel the heat burning around you, the fire crackling above you, and the building is on the verge of collapse. There's nowhere left to run, and you hope that maybe some of the younger ones of the family managed to get out during the chaos. Maybe they would be more lucky than you. And that's when you hear it. A burst of stone, something exploding, and then a tunnel of wind that blows the smoke off on either side. Whoosh! Your hair tosses around you from the sudden blast, and in that clear moment from the smoke, you see a hooded figure, someone cloaked, there at the entrance of the wall that now has a door in it. A man with his hands extended. A thief, no doubt. Here to see what they can salvage from the wreckage, probably. What do?
Try to draw inside what little energy I've got left to see if I can summon one last spell.
Whoa. At ease. I'm here to rescue, not to pillage. He rushes over to you. The man, human it looked like from the quick glance you saw. He places a hand on yours, and you see the air ripple around his. Almost arcane, but not the kind of arcane you're used to seeing or have ever seen before. You feel whatever healing power he has given you renew you with a new burst of energy, a second wind. And then, there among the crackling fires, you hear the cracking of timbers, the heavy sound of the beams above you starting to collapse inward, and you almost roll your eyes. Of course. After all of this, the healing is wasted, and as you both are crushed by the remnants of what place you had called your home. But as you wait for the crushing, nothing happens, and you instead feel less heat. You open your eyes to see those same strands of whatever this man has form a dome around you, protecting you from the debris that had fallen around to the side. It shields you from the smoke and the fire. What do?
Don't understand what he wants. Nothing in Calimport comes without a price, and this is far greater than what I would ever want to pay. What will he want when this fight is over?
As your eyes kind of grow heavy, he helps you, lifts you to your feet, and you finally get a better glimpse of this alleged do-gooder. He seems to be handsome enough for a human, with a single deep scar running across his cheek. Let's get a move on, shall we? You may call me Gaius. And with a grimace of pain, you and this Gaius make it out of the collapsing warehouse and into the dark of a night that is filling the city with turmoil. This is going to be interesting.